Crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. It just crossed him over. Another victim to the crossovers. Crossed him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover, powered by Could Be You. I can't stop saying powered by. I will never stop saying powered by.
I just started saying, this is the crossover.
Yeah, that's a great call by you.
I'd say this is the crossover, bitches.
This is the crossover.
I would listen more.
This is why this guy's one of my mentors.
I would listen more.
What's up, B words? It's a crossover.
I do think sometimes when Josh and I make inappropriate jokes that push the envelope, on Middays with Matt, it really is an ode to Michael Severe. I mean, I know the stories.
I think you should push, right? But if you come anywhere near where we were,
we'll be done.
You'll be out the door.
Which is why it's an ode. It's an ode to you.
The thing he tweeted the other day or yesterday saying that he couldn't use, that would have been 2 hours of content.
Yeah.
I didn't read that one.
We would have named the things after the burning penis.
Yeah, that was the penis
Man
story.
lopped it off.
Yeah.
Lit it on fire, started a very large fire.
We actually did this because one of the members of
you did this? This has happened before.
One of the Civil War Foundation members did this?
One of the members of the dudes from Long Island. My God, my brain. The guys from Long Island.
Jackass?
Wu-Tang Clan. One of the guys, right, from Wu-Tang Clan did this and jumped off of a roof after doing it.
Yeah.
And then went to jail and tried to do it again. And so we did a whole thing on him, on how he did it, like which way did he cut, what did he do? Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean which way? There'd only be one way.
No,
what do you mean?
Not really.
You'd only go, you'd lop it down.
Up, down, sideways, scissors. Come on.
But
up, down. You can do up. Hold it out.
You want to go
up? You can hold it out. You go
that
up.
Sounds
you go
half
and then through.
Oh no! I do not want to go up.
These people are insane.
I don't want to go up. I want to go down.
These people are insane. They're not thinking.
I would guillotine it.
Let me tell you this real quick. In 2023, Nebraska had only 41 successful drives out of 116. Okay,
jeez.
Only 41. Their finishing drive rate, again, the average for college football is around 4.5 points every time you cross your opponent's 40-yard line. They were 3.73. This is against Big Ten competition. 1.31 points per drive. The worst teams in college football get to 2.
Because remember, they not only sucked at offense, but they also had a terrible kicker. I believe that year.
They had an awful kicker that year.
Yes.
They did.
It would have really helped them tremendously if they had a halfully decent kicker that year.
This was so
because their offense
bad.
was so bad.
Oh my God, this was bad.
They had Heine.
Was 4 out of 13. In 4 7 drives out of 13 drives.
Who was the kicker in 23? Was it Alvano?
It was both
Alvano and I think it was
Hole, right? No, was he?
No.
He's 24.
He was like
24.
because wasn't it Alvano gets hurt with the hamstring, right?
No, it was the one
next
guy.
year. That was the next year.
No,
wasn't that 24?
That's 24. So 23.
We're talking about 23. Who was 23?
I think it was Alvano. Because
Really?
it was Alvano's job.
That was his freshman year?
Yeah.
His freshman
and
year?
then he gets hurt, and then Hole takes it, and then you get QAnon.
Who was the guy before that? He won like kicker of the year.
Henry?
Culp.
Connor Culp.
Alex Henry. Connor Culp.
It was Culp. Culp was that guy.
But you skipped a few kickers.
I know. No, that's why I knew he was a great kicker. No, Connor Culp, but then he was bad the next year after winning kicker of the year.
And I called it.
Yeah.
I said this guy is not as good as you think he is because he was making just easy kicks barely.
Was it him or was it Frankie who kicked the Georgia Southern kick? Because remember you had Brandon Frankie. And he was like the long kicker. He was like if they had 50 plus yards.
Georgia Southern kick.
When they lost to Georgia Southern. Now I'm going back to Scott Frost.
Yeah. You never watched that game, Connor.
Correct.
Was that Culp? Was it Culp who missed the kick against Georgia Southern?
They missed 2 field goals in that game, right?
They missed a field goal at the end.
At the very end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I was right there. I was on the sideline.
I never watched it. I never felt the need to.
You never watched the Georgia Southern?
I was at a wedding that night. I got in my car and I listened to Big Red Overreaction, and then Scott Frost got fired the next day, and the whole game was ruined.
It was quite the entertaining game.
Only tried 15 field goals.
Yeah, and he missed
15. He was 9 of 15.
He missed the first couple though.
He was 9 of 15. Then he got better.
He got better as the year went on, and there was actually excitement around him heading into the next season. And then he had the injury.
24 of them. They had 24 attempts, and Nebraska had 15.
Wow.
That 23 year. Oh my, these stats are just horrible.
We're doing a little exercise at some point. I don't know if we'll get to it today, where it's like, is this Matt Rhule's best team that he's had? To me, it's obviously yes, but there's
way to give it away.
People want to have a conversation about that. I go back and I think about the 23 team, and especially the offensive side, and just how terrible it was. It was so bad.
Most talent since 2018. Most talent since 2018.
You like the 2020 team. You think they're more talented than the 2020
because 2018 had both Stanley Morgan and Devine Azigbo.
Yeah.
And then it also had Washington as a freshman. They had, who's a tight end? They get tight end too.
In 18?
In 18, yeah.
Hoppus?
Yeah, I think it was. And I think he actually set the record for
Tyler Hoppus.
Nebraska.
Yes.
I think he set the record for most catches by a Nebraska tight end. So that year, you go back and look, offensive line, a bunch of guys got coffees, right, in the NFL. You had Stanley set the record for the most catches in the program history. You had, I believe, Maurice Washington had I think Maurice Washington had 7 plays over 20 yards.
I remember we were sitting at the Kansas City house and we were watching was it the 2018 or the 2019 Colorado game? What Colorado game were we watching in the Kansas City house? And Mo Washington had that long touchdown.
Oh, that was 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one where they lost on the flea flicker, they lost in overtime because they turned the game. They kicked the field goal with their punter.
Yeah,
in overtime that went negative yards. That's a great time. By the way, the kicker who missed the kick in that Georgia Southern game, Timmy Bleekrode.
Bleekrode,
right?
Great guy, Timmy Bleekrode.
I don't know that to be the case.
Awesome dude to go out with.
I don't believe you.
I've had a good time with him before.
I bet you have.
He was a fun dude.
I bet.
I had a great time with him.
This 2018 team, dude. So they had Morgan had 1,000 yards. He was only the second. Johnny didn't make 1,000. He got over 1,000. So Johnny got under 1,000.
That was most yards in school history, single season.
Then
Devine ran for 1,000.
Then J.D. Spielman.
Yep.
It was Jack Stoll. Jack
Stoll.
Maurice Washington.
The Philadelphia Eagle, Jack Stoll.
Yes, that's right. It's New Orleans Saints.
Is he on the Saints
I believe
right
he's on
now?
the Saints now.
Oh, wow.
Maurice Washington had 24 catches. And then he had a bunch of runs.
Yep.
Devine Azigbo. This team, even Cade Warner.
Yep.
Oh, what a name.
Cade Warner had the catch of the season. Back of the end zone against
back in the
Iowa.
end zone. Yeah. So Devine Azigbo had 1,000. Adrian Martinez had how many yards do you think he had net? I mean gross.
Azigbo?
Gross, no. Adrian.
2018.
Azigbo had 1,100 yards, and then after he only had 18 negative yards, so 1082. How many do you think Adrian Martinez had?
This passing and rushing combined?
No, this is just rushing.
Oh.
First of all, he had 140 attempts.
I'm going to guess 647 yards.
I was going to go 640.
So the net was 629. Before loss of yards, 847. Maurice Washington had 480 before losses. You had three guys that combined for over 2,000 rushing yards.
Yeah.
All that to go 4-8.
I know, but I still say this is the most talent though, because they had guys who were talented. They just didn't win games.
I wonder why that's the case. I wonder what happens when you have a ton of talent and it doesn't turn into wins.
They started the season and Greg Bell was their running back.
Starter. Yep. He had 240 yards rushing.
Yeah. So Azigbo did all this after the third game of the year.
Yeah. And then Greg didn't transfer it, right?
He just dipped. Yeah. He was like, I'm out of here. State? It was halftime of one of the games.
He's just gone.
Yeah. He just left.
Yeah.
Remember the guy who they had that year who they thought he was a JUCO wide receiver that they were like, oh,
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. I liked him.
They loved that guy.
He went into coaching, I think.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, he went into coaching. Yeah.
I was like, I never saw it with that guy.
So the what if comic, obviously, if they win the Akron or play the Akron game, is a different season? They play the Akron game.
I'll let you guys. The Akron game.
It seems like you have me on this.
It always bugs me so much.
I had so much fun before the Akron game. Might have been the most fun I think I ever had.
I had so much fun while the Akron game was supposed to be being played. It was so much fun. What the rain delay and the people running across the field. Yeah, it was so much fun.
We were standing,
and then all the drama of if Akron was going to stay or go. Yes. I mean, that was so much fun.
We were all on hold.
I had so much fun.
We get to go back up there tomorrow.
We were there until 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had a room in the dorm for them to stay, and they were
didn't
feeding
stay.
food. They didn't stay. I'm standing on the field before the game with Chris Hetty in the paper, and we're doing some live stuff down on the field.
Yeah.
And the crowd was singing
Michael,
songs.
I say this to this day. I've been to a lot of games. I haven't probably been to many of the big ones. The buzz before that game was unlike anything I've ever felt before.
It was incredible.
It was so unique. I don't know really how to explain it.
It was incredible.
It was like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's just like you walk into a hornet's nest. It was Scott Frost's first game.
We had the conversation though on Friday with Ramby. Shouldn't move the game up. We knew what was happening. They wouldn't move the game. It was a game that they didn't want to move, whatever it was.
Yep.
And they didn't want to move Nebraska up to 2:30. TV had something.
Timmy B couldn't get here in time.
Couldn't do it. So we never had the game.
This is a team that lost to Troy. Okay. They lost
without their starting quarterback. So maybe if he gets the one game under there, he doesn't get his knee bent back against Colorado, and he plays against Troy.
Wait. Him playing the Akron game doesn't get
he's
him
a
hurt in the
freshman.
Colorado
he's
game.
18 years old. He hadn't played for 18 months. Remember that because he had the labrum, so he hadn't played. So you give him another game under his belt, and he's not playing his first game in almost 2 years against Colorado. Maybe he doesn't get hurt.
I don't buy it.
He was so good in that Colorado game.
What if magazines, they go everywhere? I have a what off right now about Wolverine and Logan.
I don't buy that. Him playing against Akron still doesn't get him injured.
I'm not trying to say anything.
So what do you think it would have? You think everything would have turned out exactly the same?
Of the Scott Frost era?
No, that year.
No, like
that year. Maybe they win 6 games.
Maybe they get fired. He still gets fired in 22 or whatever.
I'm talking about just 2018.
Just 2018.
Probably,
They beat Akron. They played Akron. They beat them.
Maybe they win.
And remember Colorado.
So right. They played a Colorado game. And then they go, they get the Troy game, obviously, which they lose because Bunchy is terrible.
No. He wasn't that bad. Got to remember, it wasn't Bunchy. They couldn't get any stops against Troy. Go back and look at Bunchy's numbers. I just talked to his dad the other day, so I'm defending Bunchy.
Yeah. And then they started half-injured Adrian at Michigan.
But they weren't going to win anyway.
And he got destroyed on like the first 6 plays, and then they took him out.
Yep.
And they lost 56 to 56-10.
Yeah.
And that game probably would have gone a little bit differently.
They still would have gotten beaten.
They would have still gotten beat.
Yeah. But at that point, maybe they're 3-1.
Because remember, Michigan hated Scott Frost because 2 years prior, the UCF had gone up there, and he said after the game he lost.
We were the toughest team.
Lost to Michigan. We were the tougher team today. I thought we were the better team or whatever it was.
And Harbaugh remembered.
Oh yeah.
Harbaugh doesn't forget.
They wanted to get him bad.
Yeah, Harbaugh doesn't forget.
And they got him.
They got him bad. Yeah. And again, when you're talking about what if comic, crazy stuff happens, and I'm just saying. You play the game against Akron, you have no idea what happens that season. They certainly don't start off 0-6.
No, they
don't. They don't start off 0-6. I still think they lose the Colorado
but we
game.
wouldn't have the great shot of Butch Hugg walking out onto the field going like this, which is just crazy. I remind him about it at the College World Series every single year.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I think Indomitian got maybe the biggest cheer I remember in a non-game situation.
Absolutely.
People were just going nuts as his big ass walked across the field.
So much fun. And he must have been drunk or something like that because wasn't he like being
He was pumping everybody up. Yeah, he was excited.
Yeah.
He was very excited.
He was getting it going.
That was pretty cool.
I was driving in today. I heard your conversation about pizza. I would like to say
so did I.
I would like to say that I stand with you.
Thanks for listening.
I've sat here on these airwaves and I have expressed the same opinion that I'm a cheese pizza man. Okay. I don't put the works on pizza. It's a very American thing to put the works on a piece of pizza. Like that's like, you're not going to go to Italy.
Well, part of America's excess.
Exactly.
That's right.
I'm not,
we didn't get to the American thing.
Some would say exceptionalism, but that's fine.
I'm not going to.
What year is this now?
To put all of that stuff on the pizza. And I've said this before on these airwaves, and people said what Josh Hodson said, and called me a child. But like, you're a child because you like cheese pizza.
Have you had a tomato pie?
Isn't that a
Philadelphia thing?
No. But isn't that a Sicilian? Isn't that a Sicilian slice? Isn't that the upside down slice?
No. So they put the sauce on top of the cheese.
I'm pretty sure that's a Sicilian.
Okay. Well, they call it a tomato pie in Philly.
Okay.
And it is the basic pizza. It's essentially the pizza they made in Italy and Little Italy in New York when they first started the tomato pie.
Beautiful.
It's a good looking pizza. It's not as good as some of the other cheese pizzas
The
I've
cheese
had
has got to be
on
on
the
top.
top. Yeah, it's too much sauce. Is that wrong? Sorry.
Not at all for pizza.
It was
You
too
could-
much. It
you
was too
could
much
definitely
sauce.
over sauce.
We get it every time we go. Every time I go to Philly they always get that for the first night, and I always eat the Italian sandwich that comes along with it, opposed to the tomato pie. I get one slice of tomato pie.
Because Michael values his meals. He doesn't want to eat anything he doesn't like.
That is true. Oh, that's very true.
Which
Or
is
watch
smart.
anything I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't watch things I don't like anymore.
Yeah, you guys
When we listened to when you were listening to Tim Verghese the other day on the show, you tuned us out because we started talking about soccer.
You started off with soccer,
You
too.
said, "I hate you guys. I'm
and
leaving."
then I turned it off. I finished my shower. I got out, turned it back on. You were still talking soccer.
Hey, that
I
was
done
a
for the
short
day.
shower.
I was done for the day.
That was like a 6.5 minute show.
I was done for the day when you guys were still on soccer when I came out of the shower.
we did get to recruit.
I do not eat like you do. I'm more of a garbage disposal, and I hope at some point that
Well,
I
you're
do
young
value
still.
the food that you guys do value.
You're still young.
That's
Not your
one.
fault.
That's hope. I hope that I get there one day. I probably will. Probably will get to the
Well,
point
don't
where I
get me
savor a
wrong.
meal.
Like, I will still eat the, part of a chicken nugget my daughter didn't eat.
Well,
like,
that's your job as a father.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm cleaning that
can
thing
I
up.
tell you,
I'm
though-
a garbage disposal 101.
Stop doing it.
It's delicious.
I know, but stop
but you
doing
gain
it.
a lot of weight.
Stop doing it.
Mac and cheese.
Stop doing
You know
it.
what we did at home, Michael?
I tell you one thing.
we
just stop doing
rebranded.
it.
We rebranded chicken or Alfredo pasta as long mac and cheese, and
Oh, that's a heady
rebranded.
play.
she
Wow.
is like long mac and cheese. I'm interested. It doesn't taste at all like mac and cheese, but she doesn't know that because
Exactly.
we call it long mac and cheese.
That's what you got to convince them of things.
It's working.
We had to make Miles needed to gain weight because of his syndrome and stuff. And so what we did was we put ranch in everything, which he called white dip. And so we got white dip for everything.
Not wrong.
And you know me, I hate ranch. I hate the smell of ranch.
Not at all.
I had to clean the dishes with ranch, put ranch and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that I was cooking. It was
She
brutal.
dips everything in ketchup. She will like dip a French fry in ketchup and then suck the ketchup off.
I used to do it as a kid.
And my kid
Gross.
did that, yeah.
Yes,
long mac and cheese is just essentially we took the stripes from the side and we put it on the top. That's what Connor did.
One mini list. Okay, just real quick. We're gonna hold on.
Michael's got a
So
list.
last
Ring the
year,
bell.
last year, the first 4 Power 4 games. All right, to show you what the season started off with: Cincinnati, Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland. They had 46 drives. 25 of them were successful drives. That's over 50%. Their finishing drive rate was 4.36. Never have they been this high. And per drive, they were 2.36 points per drive. That is the epitome of what we thought Holgerson's offense was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Those first 4 Power 4 games. That is 5 out of 10, 7 out of 12, 6 out of 12, 7 out of 12 in terms of successful drives to drives in the game. Scored 20, 27, 31, 31.
Name those opponents again.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
Michigan.
Yep.
Michigan State.
Yep.
Maryland.
So this is at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, the first 4. First 4 Power 4 teams you played. You had what we
That's
thought.
crazy because Michigan State was really choppy, and obviously Michigan was really well.
Still
Michigan
had-
was better.
No, Michigan
Yeah.
still had 7 out of the 12 drives were successful drives.
Yeah, Michigan was better. Michigan State was 7 out of 12.
Yeah, so was Maryland. No, Michigan. Michigan was 7 out
What
of
was
12.
Michigan State?
Michigan State was 6 out of 12 for 31 points, and Maryland was 7 out of 12.
They mismanaged that Michigan State game so much.
Yeah, they should have beaten them by. Yeah.
They should have beaten them.
What
by
they won
one
by
more.
11?
They won it by 11, but the problem was that
The Milivojevic.
they had
The late stuff,
they
yeah.
had the wind. The wind was howling, and they
Yeah.
kept throwing the ball.
Yeah.
And Emmett looked great. That if you go
Yeah.
back and you watch Emmett from the Michigan game compared to the Michigan State game, Emmett looks faster in the Michigan State game. Like he just has another burst,
Yeah.
and the wind is howling. And they keep throwing it with Dylan into the wind.
Yeah.
And like Emmett had like 12 carries, and I think he had like 88 yards, some like ridiculously efficient thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why weren't you doing that the entire? I didn't under. It was the same thing with the Minnesota game. Like when everyone was like, "Oh, the Minnesota game, why didn't they go ahead and use Emmett more?" I thought that for the
the first
Michigan
drive.
State game.
We have these conversations before the season, numbers that you need to get to and stuff like that. But we always forget that there's at least 2 to 3 games every year that are just completely destroyed because of the wind. We have to factor that into our equation. So
And yet
it
they
doesn't
can
have to
still-
be just completely game change.
It doesn't have to
Absolutely.
be destroyed. That is when you lean on your run game.
Yes, that's right.
And short passing game.
That's right.
2004,
But you have
State.
coaches overthinking things. Like, I'm going to take the wind.
2004 Iowa State. Okay, if you remember this game or not.
I remember 2004
first year
Iowa
Callahan.
State. Yes.
It was so windy that they were building the left side of the facility.
North Stadium, man.
No, this is at Iowa State.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Iowa State. It was so windy, the crane got blown over. The mounted crane. The $1 billion metal crane.
Hey,
whoa.
Man, you think there's nothing here?
Huge.
There's nothing in Ames.
Yes.
Nothing.
So win, right? The whole first half, all Callahan did was throw the ball on the top foot. One time, Joe
So
Daly
much fun.
threw a ball. He threw a ball that turned left.
We're going to do what we do.
You know what he did in the second half?
We play football.
Second
This
half?
is what we do.
Second half, gave the ball to Corey Ross. Guess what happened? They ran the hell out of the ball.
That's right.
You can't change what you do based off the win. Combined Hogerson in his first 7 Power 4 games, first 7 of them, they were 40 successful drives out of 77 drives. Again, over 50%. They scored 172 points. It looked like you thought it would look. Those last games of 24, the first 4 games of 25, it looked like we thought it would be. And after that, not so much.
What happened?
Well, the quarterback got hurt, but
a few games later, yeah, sure.
what was
And
the
then
game?
that quarterback got hurt.
And then that quarter. What was the game right after? So what? Your last game
Minnesota.
is the no. But your 4 games that you're mentioning.
Yeah,
What was the
Minnesota's next, right? After Maryland's Minnesota.
Is it?
Disaster.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that would have been mid-October.
So they had,
Yeah.
in that game, they had, out of 10 drives, 3 successful, 6 points.
and then after that it was the Northwestern game.
And then
Correct.
Northwestern, they bounced back with a really good game. They had only 8 drives, 5 of them successful.
That last drive, I think, is. I mean, because that season ended, we don't necessarily look back on the last season very fondly. But last drive to win that Northwestern game, where they had, I think, 3 different third downs and 3rd down and 7s, 3rd down and 8s.
It was the opposite of the Michigan game.
It was probably Dylan's best series that he's had, just in terms of pure execution.
What we also underrate is how good they were early in the season in field position. Their net field position.
Well, yeah.
Every single game, they were dominating field position.
They won in part that Cincinnati game because they dominated field position.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
They
were
punted
plus,
and pinned them really
They
well.
were plus 18 yards in field position in those first games.
I think the Kenneth Walker injury had a bigger impact on them than
For kickoff
people
return?
realized. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to be
Kenneth
there?
Williams.
Kenneth Williams.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker.
Thank you,
I was
sir.
like, Kenneth Walker, man.
I knew where you were going.
I knew
where you were going.
It's like,
His
hey,
name
they
is
shut him down in 2021 until they didn't. Until overtime.
That was my first ever, I'm mad about Nebraska football moment. That was,
wow, you missed a couple.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't there was a couple where I was like, yeah, this sucks. And, this and that, and whatever. But that was my first,
Why was it the other games of 2021, like the previous games of like the Illinois game and the Oklahoma game and the I guess that was the next game after that.
I was more so I was getting into the roots of super caring because I was only a sophomore. And I was just like,
baby.
I was like, these guys suck. This is whatever. This is so dumb, what? And then they lost that game, and I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Through
That
the
is
USC game, Nebraska was plus 46 yards in net field position. 46. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost half a field.
You know what it is also? It's a half a first down
Yeah,
as well each game.
yeah.
So you're talking about being a team that was already ahead of. It's what Darlington talked about constantly.
Yeah, he did.
Darlington will tell you quickly, you give me plus 7 on punts and you give me plus 20 on kickoffs and we're going to beat your ass. And he'd use a different word. But still, that's how good they were. And then, the quarterback got hurt. But they had no backup plan. I mean, they had a backup quarterback. They didn't have a backup plan.
Yeah, a lot of things happened after that too. The D line just completely fell apart after
Because they were on the
Minnesota
field so
game.
much.
They completely fell apart. The special teams was not as effective because Williams got hurt, and then the punting game also kind of fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
In the last 4 games
people
of the
knew
year.
more about Barney by that point too.
Exactly. Well, the punt return game, but then also, Barney was hurt basically the entire year. He was
That's another
just,
thing I forgot about.
he was just
I
he
forgot
had a
it.
clipped
I always
wing the
forget how
entire
much
time.
I love Ja'Cory Barney from January to August, and then how much I don't like Ja'Cory Barney when the football games are happening because he's always falling down.
Yeah.
Stop falling down.
He could have had a punt return touchdown against Michigan State, and
He's falling down all over the place.
Literally just got like blown over.
This is a thing for me. This is a bigger thing for me than the timeouts. Just he's falling down. Stop falling down.
You want to answer that question?
He's getting tripped up all the time.
You know the answer to that question? Squats.
Yeah, do some squats. I don't know, get some
squats.
Get some leg
Shaky
power.
legs.
Do you guys remember that first hit he took against Cincinnati? The first hit he took all season.
Up.
He got folded like a chair.
Jumped right up.
Just collapsed.
He jumped up.
I will never question that young man's toughness. But it was just at the end of the year when they had
he's tough. He can't stand.
There's when you
start standing.
We'll go back to running backs, right? So there's four things.
He's still a very tough guy.
Sure, of course he's very tough. He's very tough.
When you're running the ball, whether you're running back, whatever, there's four things, right? You need to have great vision.
Yeah.
The most important thing that we're talking about now is contact balance.
Balance.
Contact balance, not just balance. How are you when you get contacted? Finishing the run. Mm-hmm. That's your legs still moving in the end. And then the fourth one is just pure, I have the ability to be a runner.
I got the thing.
You got a thing.
I got the thing.
You know who had it for a while is Maurice Washington. For some reason, he had a thing. Where if he got
you are
this,
it, baby.
What is the line from
you can't sell it
from your
Friday Night Lights
from
Central High School, baby Jesus.
Central High School's greatest player of all time.
Yes.
His line was the 6 inches of daylight thing, right? Give me the 6 inches of daylight. I'm going right. Yeah. So that's if there are certain people that if you give them that little bit of daylight, that's all they need.
I know,
and it's a special thing that only really great players have. He contact balance is his issue.
Oh, yeah, that
short area quickness too is good. I like that one too. Short area quickness. You get a guy with good short area quickness.
Emmett had it. Emmett had incredible short area quickness.
Well, he had to because guys were in the backfield.
Well, that and he didn't have.
How many times were there? Emmett was just standing there 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. There was 4 guys around him, and we could screenshot that from the season last year.
Yeah,
and then he didn't lose yards. So
there was definitely
either 0 or 1.
At least one guy there, up to 4, but most times at least one. It's at least one guy going. It's me and you, Emmett.
He was doing some heavy lifting.
Michael, this was a pleasure.
Oh, we're done. Awesome.
Always.
Cool. I gotta go work.
Yeah.
Gotta go work.
We thank you for being here.
I just got a response to one of my grants. I'm very excited.
That's the crossover.
He'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, will you?
Yes, awesome. I'm doing Friday. Yes,
that's gonna be great.
We have a great guest.
Middays with Matt happens after this.
Nice.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call.
Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays Matt live and rolling here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster, as always, joined by Josh Odson here at our 1620 The Zone Studios, 50th and Dodge, our second day in our fancy brand new studio. I'm still getting my bearings here in terms of how
that is
everything is set up.
exactly what I was thinking.
I'm still
I know the audience is tired of us talking about this, but still trying to get everything set right.
We're trying to make it a home. This is a house right now, but it's not a home.
Well said, Matt.
You know, we're here and we're so happy to be here. And we want to thank everybody who helped us be here. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, this is my spot, you know? And by the way, you'll notice if you're a watcher of the Zone TV page on YouTube that the host of the other two shows will sit on the far right and the other shows will sit on the far left. And I'm sitting directly in the middle. And I'm sitting directly in the middle for two reasons. Reason number one is I want to look at my co-host / producer, Josh Hodgson.
Hi, how you doing? I've never had this before.
I know, we get to actually talk to each other. But the second reason why is like, I want this to be my spot, you know? Like, I want this to be Matt's spot. Like, I want to be able to be like, this is my area. You know what I'm saying? And it's like almost put, like, if I got really petty one time about like people leaving things in my spot, which would never really happen because the morning show is very, you know, organized. But if I wanted to be really petty, I would love to like have tape lines and be like, you know, that's Matt's.
Oh,
be like Dwight Schrute in The
zone.
Office. Yeah, Matt's the zone. 1620 Matt's zone.
Okay, there's something there. Can't lie.
1620 Matt's mini zone. 1620 the zone, if you will. We can experiment with that. Nathan from Ohio, who, by the way,
thank you, Nathan.
Nate is one of our greatest listeners, not just because he's a great guy and he listens all the time, but it's because
he buys us stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to be real with you.
A lot of you could be buying us stuff too.
You want to be higher on the listener depth chart? We are like little league baseball coaches. You could buy us a couple beers, right? You could give us a discount at the BMW dealership. You know, you want little Timmy to bat third. I hear you own a steamer company. You want to come and give me a free steaming on my carpets? That's how we work here at Middays with Matt. Nathan, one of our greatest listeners, buys us stogies, which we cannot wait to share. Apparently,
I gotta click the tracking on that because they haven't got to us yet.
By the way, we are supposed to give one to Oscar Jacobson.
I'll consider it.
I will. Also, I have to give one to Oscar Jacobson today because he has given me a topic.
A topic alert.
He texted me a topic. I think he just wanted to hear my opinion on the topic, which is very nice of Oscar to do. So I told Oscar that I will text him when we talk about that said topic today. I will not reveal Austin's topic, though.
Whoa.
Of what it actually is until we get there. It's called the tease, guys.
These got delivered 10 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I literally clicked the tracking on Nathan's package.
I have a lot of packages coming in. I have
It got delivered 10 minutes ago. Where's our package?
If you want to put your eyes on the screen right now, do you see this little divot coming in here, Josh Hodgson?
Whoa, Matt, what is that?
I'm losing hair.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I got off of my Japanese tea tree oil shampoo.
Get back on it.
Because it was hampering my pockets a little bit too much.
Okay.
The price had gone up on Amazon.
It's expensive to be pretty.
And I was like, look, my hair looks fine. I haven't lost hair in a while. I'll be okay. Maybe it's like healed. I've been off of it for a month. We have lost hair. We are now going to more intense shampoo for hair loss. It's a brand new brand. It's one that is used for like the people who are really losing it.
Let me put it to you this way. I understand the tea tree oil is expensive. What's more expensive, tea tree oil or going to Turkey for hair?
We have
the John Cena hair surgery.
We're now on Nutrafol is where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just trying to be real with you. You know, you're my buddy. I care about you.
I appreciate you. Josh, it's getting bad. It's getting... But do you see the mustache though right now? So this little weird thing I got going, no one's made a comment on it. I know everybody has a thought on it.
You've stumbled into something, I think.
So the like half stubble, half mustache is kind of just a fun little look that I'm just playing with. Tomorrow,
for the record, I'm not doing a thing. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
To take care of myself.
I am doing a thing. I do have time to do a thing. And so I am doing a thing. That's the difference between being married and having a kid and being completely single with your own responsibilities. Mm-hmm. I have time to do facial bits. You know, I can do some facial hair bits. So this is the current one. This is really, I want my mustache to be cleanly shaven and perfected for tomorrow because it's reunion weekend. Every summer we do this with the college guys where a couple of the guys from out of town come on through. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year.
A college reunion or a high school reunion?
Well, a college reunion.
Okay.
So we got, and it's like there are typically 6 guys who are in the state of Nebraska at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now there's going to be like 10. And the 4 that are like out of town, like all
I'll
come
alert
together.
the authorities.
Well, yeah, we will. We're going back to Lincoln. We will not be on O Street. We have all decided we have outgrown that.
Can you answer a question for me?
Yeah, I would love to.
Didn't go to Lincoln. Don't.
Yeah.
When did O Street become we cannot under any circumstance go to O Street?
What do you mean by that?
When I was college age, it was, we'll go to O Street. It'll be fun. We'll go up and down the street and it'll be fun. We'll act like idiots.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's because the people do college kids still go to O Street? And that's why people don't want to go to O Street?
You know people who are too old to go to O Street.
Okay.
O Street is the greatest thing. Okay. Like, I don't think people understand. At least this is in my experience, and I think it's in a lot of people who graduated with me's experience. Like, your Nebraska college experience completely changes when you turn 21. Like, when you are, because O Street is stingy, you know, O Street is stingy when it comes to like you got to be 21 to get in there. Okay. Like they're hard about that.
Imagine.
They are hard about that. So it's one of those things where it's like, once you turn 21, your Nebraska college experience changes. And O Street completely changes that. But then, like, the game passes you by, you know? Like, leave the game before the game leaves you, you know? Like, your body can't handle the Long Island iced tea pitchers at
a pitcher
Brothers anymore.
Long Island iced tea.
Goodness. Your body can't handle the Elk Creek water. All right. Your body can't handle a whole pitcher of Slinky over at the bar anymore. And at a certain point, the clock turns and you're the 25-year-old hanging out with the 21-year-olds. And you're just like, you know what? They're going to class tomorrow. I'm going to work at Huddle. This doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's oil and water at that point.
You painted a hell of a picture.
Exactly. So it's like,
wasn't I breaking down your highlights 10 minutes ago?
At some point, it just all kind of hits you in a wave, and you're like, you know what? There's this place called the Haymarket, and they got some very reputable and respectable bars that a lot of people my age with my jobs are at, and that's where I'll be.
And that is what Platcat says in the chat. Rail yard killed the vibe you're describing, Josh. Yes, when I was of college age, there was no rail yard. So,
well, you know,
there was no place for the grown-ups to get away from the children.
And the rail yard has gone through a couple of different, variations in terms of what bars are actually there. There's what used to be Longwell's is now Tank's Corner. And the reason why it's Tank's Corner is because it's right next to a bar called Tank's. And Tank's wasn't really there until I graduated, I think like the semester after. And so that has made that area more popular for college kids. But for me, the rail yard was only ever a place I would go for like sporting events. But the problem is specifically, now this is a specific Matt McMaster thing. I was working all the football games, So it's like I only went to 4 or 5 football games as a fan. Like every other, and I lost one whole season because of 2020. So I really only got 3 seasons of football. And I I think I only went to 1 game my senior year, like as a fan. It was the 11 a.m. Purdue game that they ended up winning, where Jalen Lloyd had a long touchdown from Heinrich Harburg. And it was the only 11 a.m. game I ever went to. And it was one of my favorite college or just sporting experiences in general. Like that was the true, I went to a Husker football game. I watched football. They won. It was great. All the other experiences have been slightly affected by work and whatnot. And the Huskers losing. They lost a lot when I went to college. Do you know that? Did you hear about this? Did you see this?
I could have put 2 and 2 together.
Well, obviously talk about Husker football today. We brought up, sometimes the things that get the most reaction from the show is because things we say in passing. I think unsportsmanlike conduct can definitely adhere to that too. I said that this Nebraska football team is the most talented / best team that Matt Rhule has had. Matt Rhule, by the way, himself,
I'm hearing this more and more.
By the way, Matt Rhule himself has said this. Like this is something that he's said before. Media members.
I know we don't want to talk about this. What an idiotic thing to say on the front end.
Well, or you think he's painting himself into a corner?
Yes,
but he's really good at doing that. That's what he kind of does.
Yeah,
he is so good. If somebody asks him a question head on, he is really good at attacking it and answering it correctly and kind of bringing things like more important things into focus in terms of what he's trying to get done. Like Matt Rhule is very calculated, and when being in those press conferences, as many of them I had been in, I always felt like he had a checklist in his head in terms of the things that he just wanted to get done.
I'm going to say this, and this.
Regardless of what questions are asked, I'm going to get these points across, which I think is, a symbol of a really good public speaker, which he is. But there are moments where it's like he says things that he doesn't necessarily need to say that then
that's correct
puts himself in not a great
defense is going to be hell on wheels.
So that one. There's the Anthony Grant's been fumbling the ball over and over and over again, and then they put him in the game against Minnesota, and he fumbles it. There's another Minnesota one where he's like, I kept telling my coaches, they're not, he somewhere along the lines of like, you got to take them more seriously, or coaches are coming up to him and be like, hey, come on, coach, it's Minnesota. I think a lot of the Dylan stuff, just in terms of just how like much he was propped up, and then how that kind of tune changed when like everything was going on with Dylan, and then he ended up leaving. Like there are certain moments where it's like he would be scot-free if he didn't do that. But if you believe it, this is why I'll slightly disagree on it being an idiotic thing to say for him to be like, oh, this is the best team I have. If you believe it, you believe it, and I think he actually believes it. And I'm going to be real with you. I think it is. I think it just straight up is his best team that he's had.
I got questions about that.
I would love to. This is why we're going to do an exercise. We're going to do an exercise, and we're going to go through, comparative to the 2 teams that he has. How does his position groups in terms of talent stack up against what they've had in the past? Then we will eventually at some point in the year get into a special teams conversation. But we'll just do a talent. We'll just do a talent conversation today. Things are coming out of the Big 12 media days.
Yeah, Front Office Sports is stealing our material.
A lot of material. Well, what did they write?
They were like, "Oh, I think the Big 12 got a real crap deal with Monster Energy." I'm like, Matt McMaster's been saying this for 48 hours.
Thank you. It was a crap deal. It's for what the work is being like. I don't think people fully understood what the deal is. Okay, like. They're not taking up real estate on jerseys. They're simply just, monsterfying, if you will, the Big 12 patch. But it
like they did with the WWE at the Big 12 title game. People forget.
People do forget. It's one of those things where it's like teams don't have to do extra work for the $1 million that they're giving. So it's like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but at the same time, they should have gotten way more money than what they're getting. I still have a couple of questions about it. Stuart Mandel had a mailbag today in The Athletic.
Stupa.
It was fun. It was a good one. There were some really good questions he was answering. And one of them was like, who are the biggest brands in the Big 12? And he came to the conclusion that the biggest brands in the Big 12 are Texas Tech and BYU.
Whoa.
Okay. I was being conservative in this list. I named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams across 4 different conferences that I think are bigger brands than the 2 biggest brands in the Big 12.
Okay, this is a good exercise.
And
because I think you're right when he says Texas Tech and BYU are the big, but also
maybe TCU, but like they
whoa, what?
Yeah, not really. You know, I think it is BYU and Texas Tech. We're going to talk about like, is this exercise kind of representative of the deal that the Big 12 got? Like, is this how markets value the Big 12 because of the fact that their 2 biggest brands aren't bigger than 12 teams across 4 different conferences? Or can we hypothesize maybe that maybe the Big 12 has given Monster Energy maybe more of a novelty sweetheart deal that might turn into more lucrative business down the line? We'll have that conversation. We will also, so like I said, we'll do BYU, Texas Tech being the biggest brands. We'll do, is this Matt Rhule's most talented team? We have Austin's topic to get to at some point.
Austin's topic.
College fantasy football. Did you read this? Did you hear about this?
No,
Yahoo,
what is this?
Yahoo made a tweet today saying school is back in session. College fantasy football is going to be something that they are going to be promoting and having on their website greatly.
Because we can use the players' names now and all that sort of thing.
Look,
Sorry,
I've heard of some people here on, actually listeners on this radio station that play college fantasy football. I did read in the comments that this is going to be Power 5 only, which does help.
The hell does that matter?
Well, because you can like draft some guys who just like are really good and then they just blow.
What if Army's got a running back that is incredible?
I do actually think it's easier if you do just Power 5.
Okay.
I just do think it's easier if you do that, because then it's like you're not really drafting.
That's enough players, right? Like,
and then like, you know, Anthony Calandria would be like a 1st-round pick.
Big
you
toe.
know, like he had an incredible year, just in terms of pure stats and everything like that. Are you? I will ask the question: are people interested in this? Are more people going to play college fantasy football? I might end up doing this. I think it's fascinating in a way, just because of the compare and contrast of college fantasy football to the NFL fantasy football. Would any Nebraska players get drafted in a college fantasy football draft?
Big Tone.
Okay, would he?
I don't know.
Would he? I think he'd be like a backup quarterback.
I haven't played fantasy football since LaDainian Tomlinson.
You
was
haven't
in the
played
league.
fantasy football in 14 years?
It's just it's too much.
I'm in 3.
And everyone takes it more seriously than me, so I'm like, I'll bow out.
I'm in 3 leagues. That's probably the least surprising news to you. Dynasty league, rotating league, like, you know, refresh league every year, and then I'm in a guillotine league. You read about this, the knockout leagues. That's what ESPN is calling.
Oh yeah, ESPN invented knockout leagues, and everyone's copying it.
They did not invent knockout leagues.
I read a tweet that ESPN invented new way to play.
No, this is not their new way to play. Guillotine league has been around for years, and it's an incredible way to play.
And it's
fantasy
apparently
football.
a trademark term.
Well, there is like a whole guillotine. I was about to say guillotine society. I'm pretty sure there's a whole company that's created it.
Yeah, that guy in the story we can't talk about on the radio.
I'm still disgusted by the fact that Severe even brought up the fact that you could cut up. That just,
it's an option.
I want to throw up thinking about it. That's Austin's topic. I was about to read the title of it.
Don't do that.
We will also, this is becoming our Caitlin Clark. The 2024 CBS redraft that I keep teasing that we're going to eventually do. The 2024 CBS redraft is like, they just came up with the topic, and then now I've just redrafted the first 10 picks of the 2024 NFL draft. And I want an NFL topic. I'm kind of safe. Can I be real with you? I'm sandbagging the NFL right now.
You can, but the 2024 NFL redraft, you can prep that topic now and it will not change until you get
Great
to
point.
it.
This is
So
why
just
Josh Hodson,
keep
one of
it in
my
the chamber.
radio mentors here, telling me there's always something about having one in the chamber.
There's
But
going to
we
be a
have-
night where you're like, ooh, just stayed out a little too late, or ooh, woke up a little too late this morning.
All right, so we'll have to use it today then.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
Ooh, had a meeting.
I don't have meetings. People don't call me into meetings.
Well, there's a reason for that.
All right, Middays with Matt here. The 1620 The Zone Radio Network. We have a great show for you today. Jordan Davis is here. Going to be a phenomenal. He's a country performer, phenomenal artist.
Oh, it's a he. Okay.
It's going to. I didn't know. Great show on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. What a segment.
Josh Hodson's boyhood hero was Hank Aaron. Matt McMasters was the guy from the Dos Equis commercial. Now it's starting to all make sense. Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt here on the 1620 The Zone radio network. We're going to bring on someone who probably symbolizes the Dos Equis man more than any single media member in the state of Nebraska. Steve Sipple from On3 and Husker Online joins us. Steve, have you ever cured schizophrenia by walking into a room?
Oh, hold on. Is that a known cure?
No. It's a Dos Equis commercial saying, Steve.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The guy says, stay thirsty, my friend. No, to answer your question, you can't just walk into a room and cure somebody's schizophrenia. But apparently the man from the Dos Equis commercial could.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
No, because I can't remember. I know that. Here's my perception of this Dos Equis discussion. That the most interesting man in the world commercials just resurfaced recently. That's in my world. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like that's it. They were popular when I was probably in my teens.
Yeah, I was a little kid when they were. I think a little bit later than that, Steve. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe a little later now, but a long time ago, we'll say. Okay.
Do you know, like, are you like him where your blood smells like cologne?
Oh God, no. No.
Do you live vicariously through yourself?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yes, that's a funny one. Those are good.
Yeah, my personal favorite is he's the life of parties he's never attended.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like the one you just said though.
Oh,
he lives vicariously through himself. It's funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's ridiculously like self-absorbed stuff. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's one about when he walks. When he met the Queen of England, she bowed to him. That's probably the most egregious one. That's why I was.
That's funny.
There's. I'm now going through a list of one. One of them says his organ donation card lists his beard.
That's not as good as the Queen of England bowing to him.
Yeah. His pillow is cool on both sides.
Once again, it's hard to top the Queen of England bowing thing.
It is. But he did once parallel park a train.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a good one. Let's get to asking you some good questions. As good as those sayings.
Yeah, I wish we could do this for another half hour. Actually.
Do you just want me to keep going?
Yes.
Okay.
But
No. It's okay. He taught a German Shepherd to bark in Spanish.
Good.
He can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. His business card simply says, "I'll call you."
See, somebody's got a good sense of humor.
Right? Somebody does. This is a good one. This is a clever one. He can speak French in Russian.
Those are good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. All right, this is another one. He bowls overhand. That's a really good one. All right, I'm spoiling all of them. I gotta act as if I know all these off the top of my head. Let's talk about something that you do know a lot of off the top of your head: Husker football. I am going off of, and I'm going to do this exercise a little bit later in the show, but I want to get your kind of outlook on it. Do you think that this is the best / most talented team Matt Rhule has had heading into 2026?
Oh my God. I don't know. I can't say that with certainty. How would you say that? No, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Wow.
Is it supposed to be? I mean, why are we saying that all of a sudden?
I think at this point, you've had 3 pretty decent recruiting classes. You've had a lot of money going to the transfer portal. I think that if you break it down systematically, position over position, the wide receiver room is the best it's ever been. The quarterback room is the most talented it's ever been. The linebacker room is the most talented it's ever been. Like you can say that pretty confidently.
God, I guess. I mean, I'm not just making declarative statements quite yet.
Okay.
Not like on the linebacker room. certainly not. And you didn't say defensive line, and that's where I get held up.
Oh no! Oh yeah. I'm held up too.
I mean, you had Nash and Ty, and not only Nash and Ty, but MJ Sherman, and who's the guy I'm missing that transferred to LSU? Come on.
Uman Mielen or Jamari Butler? They both
Jamari Butler. So no, I don't not know.
Okay.
Now I'm interested in this conversation. Are you guys saying resoundingly that this is his best roster?
I think, I don't know, resoundingly is maybe not the best adjective to describe, but I think it's his most. I think that there are multiple position rooms that have never been better under him. I don't think the quarterback room has ever fit the mold of the offense better. And also too, I think it's very deep with two backups who've played Power 5 football. I think that the linebacker room, without a doubt, has never been more talented, has never been more athletic. I do think, though, what they are missing, and you're referring to this, they don't have that superstar or that really just star in general. And maybe super is too far. They don't have a star like Ty. They don't have a star like Emmett.
Yeah. This is a wild conversation because I can't. Part of it is it's hard for me to do this on the fly. I need to look at those first two rosters. Like I need to look at who his linebackers were in that first year.
It was Henrich and Reimer.
Reimer's pretty good.
And it was Henrich getting he was kind of banged up. And then
Henrich had kind of got a little bit from injuries. Reimer was good.
You had a young John Bullock, like a really young John Bullock.
God.
And year one, though. I
know.
Year one.
Hold on. Now, I am not signing off, for instance, on the linebackers being much more athletic than Reimer and Bullock. No way.
I don't know. Shambliss Foster, and you got Dawson Merritt, who was a 4-star, 6'2", 225. Vincent Shavers, I think, is an incredibly athletic linebacker. I mean, those four. I named you four guys that are either more athletic than those two, in my opinion, or as athletic as those two.
I mean, let's see it.
Let's see. No, I agree. You know what, Steve? If you want to take the wait and see to that question, I don't blame you in the slightest.
Oh yeah, you can't really say like, well, look what Chambliss did at San Diego State. Well, okay, let's see what Reimer would have done at San Diego State. They held John Bullock.
Sure, good point.
I don't think it's. I think it's possible. A lot of the stuff you're saying, but I'm less apt or I'm slower just to make those declarative statements. Like, oh yeah, this linebacker room is much better than Reimer and Henrich and Bullock.
Sure.
Really? I mean, I want to see them play a single game against a very good team first. So.
The last couple of seasons, I feel like there's kind of been a theme, right? In terms of, all right, what are we going to get over this year, right? From 2023 to 2024, the quarterback room was a disaster. They said, okay, we're going to improve that. They go and they get Dillon. It was much improved from 23 to 24. I felt like from year 2 to year 3, the fix that they wanted, that they were very focused in on, was, all right, now we're gonna win close games, right? We're gonna really win these close games, and they did that. They won close games last year. They won a lot of close games last year. What do you think is like? Do you think there's a theme or a big fix or something that they've walked in and said, we are for sure gonna get this right, and that's what they're targeting for this year? What would you say that is?
I don't know. I mean, I think Sam wrote about what Sam write about recently, that they're going to try to minimize. Well, I mean, big plays is always something to look at.
Yeah,
but I don't have anything in mind. I mean, other than the normal standard fare, right? I mean, win the turn. I don't know if there's a magic answer here. Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a magic answer. Just think about how you win football games. What are the leading factors you always hear about? And one of them is turnover margin. But I don't know if I want to hear Matt Rhule or Matt McMaster get real fancy with the discussion. Like what is there some kind of magic that I'm unaware of here?
Sure.
We all know how you win football games. Right? It's not anything that we're going to discuss on July 10th that nobody's ever thought of, right?
Yeah. I think the thing that I thought of, Steve, was the dumbfounding loss. Like the one where it's like you cannot explain. You just don't they went into a game, you felt very confident about it, and then they just did not show up at all in the slightest.
Like an example?
Minnesota.
Oh, good example.
Great.
Yeah, inexplicable loss.
Yeah. The one where you're just like, they were not ready. They just there's no football about it. There's no strategy about it. There's no way to explain it other than they just weren't what they've been all year.
Inexplicable loss, but that's even a tricky conversation in my mind because they're in a spot right now where they could lose to about anybody, and they're in a spot where it's not like they're going to hammer too many teams, right? So that conversation to me is tricky. It's tricky. Like inexplicable losses. I don't even know how many are inexplicable anymore. Now, certainly you identified one. But that was going to be a tough win, though. That wasn't going to be a game. I don't think you expected Nebraska to go in and win that game by 21, right?
No, I didn't expect that. But, they were a pretty sizable favorite on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
Sizable favorite in the eyes of Vegas and pundits, which means nothing if you look at the track record. Nebraska's come on.
But I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that, Steve. I don't know if I agree with the track record. Like, I think you're just going off of, hey, this is how they've been performing. This is how they've been playing comparative to, Minnesota, who had lost a cow earlier that year, who wasn't playing good football. Like, in terms of what the trends in those teams were specifically heading into that game, I don't know if you could say you're going to completely ignore what the number was based off of what happened years prior.
What was the number?
The number was they were a 6.5 point road favorite. They were 6.5 point road favorite.
God almighty. Yeah, that's startling to me.
And they ended up losing that game by 21 points. Or 18 points. 18 points.
Yeah. So I'm just going to stand by what I said, though. And all I can do, I can't really get into the minds of everybody.
Yeah.
But I can get into my own. And so when I think inexplicable losses, if Maryland beats Nebraska in Lincoln, I will not call that an inexplicable loss. It's a loss that, I think if Nebraska wins the game, it'll be close.
But I think more so, Steve, like when I go off of inexplicable loss, it's also how they perform. I agree with you. Yeah. I think Maryland could be very good this year. Like I think Maryland could get to 7, maybe 8 wins because they got a really talented quarterback and have had some pretty decent recruiting classes and top talent commit to them. And they've been trending, in a better direction. They lost 3 really close games last year. But if Maryland were to beat Nebraska 24-6 at home, that's inexplicable.
That's inexplicable.
I think that's the definition. Now, you said something very interesting. And I don't know if I necessarily disagree with you, but you said they're at the point where they could lose to anyone.
Right.
They could lose to anyone. So you can tell me straight up, because we're friends, if this is just an unfair question, you don't want to answer it. But what's their floor to you then?
The floor.
Yeah.
No, that's a totally fair question.
I don't love asking that to you July 9th.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
3 floor, 5-15. Yeah, floor. That's floor.
What's floor?
4 and 8. Maybe you could get me to 3 and 9, but that would be, a debacle.
3 and 9 floor?
Yeah, it's funny we have these conversations. 4 and 8, that's okay, but 3 and 9.
They don't win one Big Ten game, Steve. Steve, they don't win one Big Ten game in year 4 of Matt Rhule. That'd be
floor. It's floor.
Okay, it's not a prediction. It's not a prediction. You're right. You're right. I
sure the hell don't anticipate it.
No, neither do I.
But I also stand by that. We're still at a spot spot where you can lose to about anybody. And certainly in the Big Ten, you can lose to about anybody. Now, I don't know. Is that strange for me to say after what we've seen for years here now? That it would be that? Would it just be shocking if Ohio came in here and won based on what we've seen for years? No, it wouldn't be shocking. They don't even – it's not even like they have a great record at Memorial Stadium anymore. Look at the last 5 years. Look at the last 10 years. It's not a great record at home. It's not, oh, we got them at home. Yeah.
I think it would be shocking if they were to lose. If they were to lose to Ohio.
The eye of the beholder. It'd be very disheartening. It would cause tremors. But would I walk out of there shocked? No, I wouldn't be shocked.
See,
this is a team that what this team, would they go down the stretch last year? What was their final?
But they're playing Penn State and they're playing Iowa and they're playing Utah. Iowa could have easily been in the college football playoff. That's how talented of a team that was. You had Utah, who was a nightmare matchup. Same thing with Penn State. Those are 3 Power 5 football teams in the late season November without your starting quarterback. We're talking about an Ohio team in August with a fully healthy roster ready to go. I think that I would walk out of Memorial Stadium shocked if they lost that game.
No, I wouldn't at all. I think we do this where we talk about Nebraska like they're a top 25 team.
But I don't think you have to be a top 25. You don't have to be a top 25 team to beat Ohio at home at Memorial Stadium in a bye game.
No, I'm not saying that. I hate it when you put words in my mouth.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked. I'm expecting them.
Sure.
But there's a big difference between being like, oh God, that's a game you can't lose, and being just shocked. Oh God, how did that happen? No, I'm not going to be that. If that were to happen, how could you be? I mean, they came off of a 7-6 season. I mean, it's not like they just Ohio. I don't think would look at it and go, look at this. We're going to build our entire program around this. No, you didn't beat Ohio State. You beat Nebraska, which hasn't been very good lately.
I'll tell you why there's a part of me that would be shocked, and let me add it to your calculus. We are in the era though of college football where Ohio's best players and the best players that play in those G5 leagues, they no longer stay with those teams. They no longer stay with Ohio. They go and they transfer to Power 5 teams, right? And so it's and this isn't just an Ohio conversation. This is an entire FCS group of 5 conversation. Those upsets are going to happen less often because you're not having that continuity of the all MAC players coming back. They end up being, starters in the Big Ten. And so that's why there would be a part of me that would be surprised if that were to happen in this era where you have that kind of, attrition happen within those teams.
I agree. These are very interesting conversations though, because you're still seeing upsets. They're still happening.
Sure.
I also see what I just read it this morning. This is why these conversations are interesting to me. I just literally read it before I went on the air for my show at 6 a.m. where the writer said there's never been more parity in college football. So it could be he's mainly talking in the power conferences, but it does. I don't know. Talent is more spread out.
Oh yeah.
Are you suggesting it's just more spread out the Power 4? Now, the one thing, I don't know. There's give and take. Yeah, these Power 4 teams are getting these guys from the MAC, but they're also getting guys from the MAC. They're coming in. They're expected to contribute immediately. They haven't been in the program for very long, and you might lose a little because of that. So, I don't know. It's just something, and you know what? There's no right answer here because it's an ongoing discussion and evaluation's ongoing. I'm not ready to say right now. I'm not ready to say right now. We're going to see fewer and fewer upsets because of the way the world is now. I don't know yet. think you can. I think we'll still see him. Maybe not as frequently, but I'm not signing off on that quite yet.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do think we still are kind of in the still in the very early stages of all this happening, right? In terms of the portal and having as much movement. And so and I'll be quite frank with you. I sound like I have the numbers right in front of me to compare how many buy game upsets happened last season compared to 2015. You know, I don't have that right in front of me right now. Maybe that'd be a good segment for me to do. But it is a fact, though. It definitely is a fact that a lot of these guys who, you know, were all conference players who 10 years ago would be playing against Nebraska are now transferring elsewhere, you know, and playing against Nebraska for Power 5 teams opposed to playing for them, you know, from a G5 perspective.
Right.
That is happening.
There's no doubt about that.
Steve, I appreciate you greatly. I always love this conversation.
God, I like spirited conversations as opposed to dull conversation. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for putting words in your mouth at that one point. That was my bad. That was my bad.
No, it's good. I appreciate you. We'll do it again next.
We will do it again next week. Steve Sipple of Husker Online and On 3 here on Middays with them on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Spirited is one way to put it.
If you believe their floor is 3 wins, there's no way you believe it is the most talented bunch that Matt Rhule has had at Nebraska. And that's okay. That's okay. But
whew, I did not expect that. It was
fun. It was fun to listen to you guys go back and forth like that.
I would be shocked. The one thing I wasn't able to get out with Sip, and I'm going to bring this right back up to Sip when I talk to him next week, is where he goes, you go off of the history of this program over the last decade, you know, it wouldn't shock me if Nebraska were to like lose against Ohio.
Oh, I know what he was saying there. I get that. I wouldn't be shocked.
But what I would say is, once again, and at this point we should have a days since Matt has said this. I don't give a damn about what happened with Scott Frost. I don't. When you're referring to, it wouldn't shock me if they lost to Ohio.
I'll let that go.
Over the last 10 years. Right? It wouldn't shock me if they lost to Ohio based off what happened the last 10 years. Well, that includes more than half of that era being when Scott Frost was the coach. I don't care. I remove that. But Scott Frost is no longer coaching Nebraska, and therefore, because he's no longer coaching Nebraska, there's a less likely opportunity that that's going to happen. And you can say what you want about Matt Rhule and everything that's gone on in Nebraska, whether you like him or whether you hate him. It's one of those things where it's like he hasn't had a problem with any of these P5 teams. He hasn't had a problem beating Northern Illinois. He hasn't had a problem beating these bye games that they play. That hasn't been an issue. They've never even shown that to be an issue. So it's like when you go, well, it wouldn't shock me. I'm like, you're referring to an era that no longer exists. You're referring to a coach who's not good at his job, who's no longer here. So yeah, it would shock me in this era with how the talent moves and who the coach is and how the system is run if they were to lose that game. It would shock me. It would shock me. It would shock me. I understand what's like. I understand the sentiment that Steve is pushing off. Like, I understand what he's getting at. I understand what the base of his argument is. But if the base of your argument includes the guy whose name is Scott Frost, then I don't want to hear about it. Like, that's not an argument that I'm going to take into account.
I would agree with that.
It's not. Let's just do it. I said, I don't know if we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Let's talk about, is this the most talented roster that Matt Rhule's had? Matt Rhule certainly thinks that this is a very good team, the best team he's had. So we'll talk about it here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Alrighty, some spirited conversations happening in the Zone YouTube TV chat. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to us, the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Equitable Bank, they take banking personally. They always pick up on the first ring. Old man Doug, shout out. Matt at 1620thezone.com. Josh O at 1620thezone.com. Also, don't forget to call in to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotlines. Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more. 402-951-1620. I want more calls. I'd love more calls. I'm a call man. Wouldn't mind a...
You want more calls.
I am. That's what I grew up. I grew up in caller
Things
radio.
Josh Peterson has never said.
See, that is the one thing that the mentor will never get past the mentee. This is when we grow up in different regions of the country. I'm a call man. Matt McCall man. That probably is probably not a great name.
A little wordy.
A little bit. Same thing with High Risk Mac, which Michael Severe did not call me today during the crossover. I was a little disappointed. I kind of like that nickname. It's growing on me. It's like a fungus, you know? This is like, you don't really like it, but it just keeps growing.
You still should try and get rid of it.
You think I should try and get rid of High Risk Mac?
I mean, if it's a fungus.
The fungus, Matt, no, not going to do that to myself. We go to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone text line. Also can text us at 402-951-1620. John, our favorite.
Hi, John.
Talent doesn't matter if Rhule is the coach. I have to read you an email that Penn State
doesn't not matter.
Can I read you this email today that Penn State sent out?
You're getting emails from Penn State?
I'm not getting emails from Penn State. I am not on Jay Paterno's email list.
Good.
Which that sounds like like a board, like a mess of like a Red Sea Scrolls. Jay Paterno's email list sounds like a subreddit of Penn State,
or like a Reddit post or like a Twitter post of make this thread look like Jay Paterno's search history.
Jay Paterno's email list sounds like a Penn State burner.
It does.
This was so this was from a couple of different Twitter accounts on Penn State, and apparently this email I'm about to read to you is from the NIL director / staff of Penn State. Okay. So they sent this out to like donors. Okay. The headline is, "We took a hit, but the plan still wins." Some weeks you take a hit on the chin. On July 6th, former Penn State pledge Khalil Taylor grabbed a Penn State hat on Rivals, then tossed it and put on a Nebraska one. A day later, 4-star running back Aiden Gibson flipped to Rutgers and is reclassifying to 2026. We do not spin losses on this page. They stung. But understand the thing underneath it. NIL recruiting is a market now, and no program can win every bidding war. Matt Campbell is building a different answer. Take the players who want to be here and develop them past their rankings. Lose a battle to a bigger check and it stings for a day. Build a machine that turns good players into NFL players and you win for a decade. That is what the NIL / staff directors of Penn State are telling their donors.
Hey, we're not in the business of spinning losses, but
here's the thing, and this is why I read this. I honestly read that thinking of John, because John, our listener, is always talking about how Matt Rhule isn't good at player development. And so I read that email and I go, Josh Hodson, there's a part of me that says, they're not wrong, right?
Right.
Like they're not completely incorrect. Like just because you miss out on a couple, top prospects doesn't mean that you can't still do
you're gonna miss
what you're
right?
paid to do, which is go out and develop talent at a high level and, develop those players. And we have talked about this over and over and over again. The problem with Nebraska football over the last decade hasn't been recruiting. It's been player development. So they're not wrong. But you still don't send that email. You know what I'm saying? Like you still don't say that. You still don't go ahead and say, yeah, we're the NIL collective and we're the people who are supposed to be in charge of, making sure the checks pass and, supporting our team and so on and so forth. And we're the people that, are supposed to make sure that this program is, funded properly. But we weren't able to do that. But don't worry, our coach is going to develop them. The line, we're not here to spin losses, and then they do the spin zone of the century, which is we didn't get our blue chippers, but we're going to develop our 3-stars better, is incredible. You just don't send that. You just don't say that. You're like, yeah, we lost them. It sucks. Do you know what we need, though? We need more money from you in order to get those players. And that probably would have pissed them off even more. Okay, so we had a spirited interview with Steve Sipple, in which I asked Steve, does he think that this is Nebraska's most talented team? I'm going to read you a quote here from Matt Rhule that he told in an interview with Hail Varsity. These are Matt Rhule's words in an interview with Hail Varsity.
Okay.
Matt Rhule said, "I'm very excited. I'm very proud of our guys. They have been working really well. We are a little under the radar. People might not know what to expect, but this will be our best team. This is the best group of guys that we've had."
Whoa.
Referring to players, but you also maybe can spin that as you referring to coaches as well. All the guys are guys. It's more so in reference to players, though. These are the best group of guys we've had. Do we believe him? Is he correct?
I do not.
I'm more inclined to. Shall we go down? Okay, so
I would love to know why you think this is not an outlandish thing to say.
Well, okay. There's a difference between whether it being an outlandish thing to say or whether or not, I agree with you in that regard. I probably, if I was his PR team, I'd say maybe not with how the vibes are right now, with the schedule you got, with the expectations you have.
Oh, maybe just say you like your guys.
That's you and I. That's a whole other conversation to have.
Sure.
To which, yes, I would agree with you and say, yeah, I'd probably back off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd probably back off of that sentiment because once again, I think Matt Rhule is awesome at answering questions when people try and back him into a corner. It's just one of those things where sometimes he says the things that then puts him there.
It's just he's too forthcoming with how he feels, whereas most coaches are just give you absolutely nothing. So there's a good and a bad with when Matt Rhule speaks publicly.
Okay. This is the best group of guys he's had. Quarterback. Best group that he's had, in your opinion, Josh Hodson. In my opinion, it's a yes.
Okay. The word group changes the question.
I think this is tough because quarterback is tough in particular because are we talking about how we felt about Dylan Raiola heading into year 2, or are we talking about how he actually was heading into year 2? Like, we felt great. I felt great. I'm not going to speak on everybody. I know actually some people here at the station didn't feel as great as I did about Dylan heading into the season. I felt great about it.
I didn't think he'd be Charlie check down all year.
I didn't think he wouldn't be able to move. I didn't think that we were going to question what shape he was in. I didn't think that was going to be an actual conversation.
I thought we were just joking around when we were quote unquote concerned about Dylan Raiola's weight.
I'll just say this. Like, it is irresponsible and on his part, not on anybody. They have a great nutrition staff. They have an awesome sports science staff. They have a trainer, a strength and conditioning guy that a lot of people would like to have. Like, they have all of the tools for him to have been at least mobile enough to not be a detriment to the team.
Last preseason, I was like, you know what? Surely he'll get better, and that will be good for the whole team.
I will go quarterback group better than it's ever been.
1, 2, 3, probably, certainly your 1 isn't as good as it has been, but your 2's better, your 3's better. Yeah. So okay, I will say okay.
Running back room, no chance.
Not yeah.
Wide receiver room.
who's the playmaker? Now I understand.
But who's been the playmaker?
Yes, and that would kind of be how I would combat my own question is they've had playmakers who didn't do a damn thing on the roster before. So why does it matter that preseason there's no defined playmaker?
If you're going through the list of transfers that they've brought in, right, from the wide receiver room, and then you go down in terms of who actually lived up to what you might have thought they would be, Isaiah Hunter would be on the top of that list. Like Dane Key didn't pan out the way that you wanted. Banks
I still have Dane Key on a milk carton somewhere.
I think this is the deepest wide receiver room that they've had. Gilmer, Barney, Hunter, all have produced at a Power 5 level. You still have Mills and Clark and Smith, all there, who are very young, who could end up doing something. Will they end up doing something? We will see. I think undoubtedly this is the best wide receiver room they've had. Tight end, probably not, maybe. Like, Fedoni was a draft pick for how much grief we give him, and Luke Lindenmeyer did end up. Now, look, Luke Lindenmeyer at the beginning of the season was awesome. Luke Lindenmeyer at the end of the season just didn't seem like they utilized him nearly as much. Carter Nelson, I don't know what's gonna happen there. I feel like that's kind of been a wait and see thing for a little bit now. And he just obviously just needs to get healthy. It's the point where he can't get on the field and produce in more than just a special teams role. That's a maybe. D-line, no way.
I'm hearing a lot of concerns about the defensive line.
No way. Linebacker, yes. Linebacker room without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Owen Chambliss is a stud. He is. When we talk about guys like, are they going to be able to move over to the next level, going from the Mountain West to the Big Ten? It's a size and a speed thing, and he's pretty fast, but the size is there. 6'3", 225 pounds. Like the guy's built like a Big Ten linebacker. Dexter Foster is a guy that came out of spring camp where I've heard so many great things about just his athleticism, his speed. That's a dude that's going to be battling with Vincent Shavers, everybody says, who Shavers not an elite Big Ten linebacker, and definitely did have the moments where he disappears in the game and you go, what he's doing. He also has those flashes as well. And then you have to add in Dawson Merritt, who you were here. Tim Verghese and I talked a lot about Dawson Merritt and how much talent he has and what impact he can make on that field and how versatile he could potentially be. For me, this is an absolute yes for linebacker. Corner, it's been interesting over the last couple of seasons where you head in, you're like, oh my God, Tommy Hill is going to be a massive impact player.
Matt Rhule still talking about Tommy Hill,
and he doesn't pan out the way that you thought he would. Not that he ended up getting hurt at the end of the year and didn't make as big of an impact. But when he was healthy, he was really good. Sierra Wright had a very good season last year, but didn't necessarily perform up to maybe the expectation that he had in terms of being an eventual NFL draft pick and all those things. We kind of have that again this year where you got Andrew Marshall, right? Like he's the holdover, right? He was the guy who was good the year before. You hold him over, you expect big things from him. I think he's going to be really good. Cornerback 2 is a question mark. I like the option of Danny Odom or Jeremiah Charles, just because of their speed and athleticism. Once again, though, one of them is a true freshman, and one of them hasn't had an ample amount of experience, at least not enough to make you super comfortable at that role. I still love Donovan Jones, though. I really like D. Jones. Speed's got to get a little bit better, but I think he's a dog. He's so physical. He's just a physical football player. Like, that's a guy that I just love watching play the game, and I would love to see him out on the field more. Safety, Lou Singleton. I still think it could be a pretty solid unit. Jameer Khan is going to be back there. We'll see with Guthrie, and obviously you got Caleb Benning as an option as well. Do those guys under a new system, do they take a next step? So I'd probably go no, just because Singleton, has been such a key piece for them in that secondary. But I have undoubtedly linebacker being more talented. I have undoubtedly wide receiver being more talented. I have quarterback being the best room that they've had. I've had maybes on tight ends and corners, and I have a no on safety. But I'll say this, the D-line room, while it's not better than 23, it's certainly better than, I expect it to be better than what it was last year. I definitely do expect it to be better than what it was last year. Does that cancel out, though, with the massive loss that you're going to have with Emmett Johnson in the running back room? Probably. But I think that Anthony Calandria is going to be able to bring this offense the type of style of play that they need, especially in the red zone, with his ability to run the ball, that with the pieces they have around him, even if you might have the debate of like, well, who's more talented, him or Dylan or anything like that. Like, I just think that what they want to do on the offensive end is more conducive towards the skills that Anthony Calandria has. And some of the things like we talked about, like identity, like what's Nebraska football's identity? What's Nebraska football's identity? And it's not great. Like the answer to that question for me would be like, it's probably the quick pass game. I mean, that's what they were doing the most effective with Hunter in those screens where I think Spindler and Evans would get out there and, they'd pancake a couple of guys and, kind of the quick game. Like that's what they were trying to do. If you can add that quick game with a running element with the quarterback, right? That could be an identity. If you have a very athletic and strong offensive line, which I didn't mention the offensive line. It's a lot of question marks in terms of Justin Evans is not a question mark. Justin Evans is a guy that he's being listed as like a potential All-American candidate, on these preview magazines. Brennan Black has a ton of experience at that guard spot. And then you have Elijah Pritchett, who made some big strides at the end of last season. So I love those three. And then it's Mubanga and Babalade, and then you have some guys that are potentially behind them. I have a little PTSD from being excited about last year's offensive line and then being disappointed, especially in the beginning part of the season.
Yes.
But I feel better about the coach. I feel a lot better about the coach who's coaching.
Which one?
G. Boyd.
Oh, yes.
I feel good about it.
Okay.
That was as close as we can get to a July 9th roster breakdown.
I'm a little more cautious than you, but you are more researched than me, so I don't know what to think.
It's a little closer that when Rhule first said it, I went, yeah. I go, yeah. Deeper. For sure more options. Certainly more options in 23. More options in 24.
And if you have more options, it's more likely that one of them pops, right? Okay.
More options for sure, deeper.
Sure.
But then if you go in like surface level starting lineup, you're like, definitely not as good D-line in 23. Definitely not as good of a line running back room in 20 like last year. But they are deeper. You cannot say they are not more. They are much more deeper. They have way more options. Way more options. All right, let's hit a break. We're gonna do a fun little segment. Then we'll do odd news at 12
noon.
Here. Yes, it's a This Week in Women's History Thursday, by the way, here on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
We're going to find out whether or not it was a mistake to say, hey, I want more calls. 402-951-1620.
I just want you to remember that you did say that.
I did say that. Wayne's on the Prairie Fire Casinos on Hotline. Play longer, win more. Wayne-O, can I call you that? How are you?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Wayne? How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Matt and Josh?
I'm doing great. We're in the new studio. It's nice and air conditioned. You know, I'm loosey goosey. Got a lot of room here. I'm having a great time. What's up?
Well, good. Hey, I was going to follow up on your last section you had about. Well, I guess you've been talking about Nebraska football here for a few sections of your show. But I had some questions for you.
Sure.
First, I wanted to start off with a little caveat of what I'm bullish about Nebraska football. And I am bullish about the defensive backs. I do think the defensive backs coach and the actual talent we have top to bottom, it has a chance to be really, really good this year. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the wide receiver room. Maybe I shouldn't be. I've been excited about.
Oh no, I'm excited. You should be excited about them, Wayne.
Years, but
yeah, you can be excited about them. They're good.
Yeah, and I just wanted to. I have 3, maybe 4 questions here for you, and I don't know if Josh wants to jump in too. But are you worried that our defensive line is undersized from a Big Ten standpoint, or maybe not good enough from a Big Ten standpoint to absorb enough blocks to keep opposing teams' offensive lines off of our second level, our linebackers and safeties? That scares the heck out of me this year. It was scaring me a little bit before last year. I kind of talked myself into thinking we'd be good enough, but that was a big deal last year. Those linebackers, they had to take on, an opposing team's offensive lineman a lot of times and then make a tackle. And you could see it just wore them down. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if that was one of my questions. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I think the 4-2-5 is going to help out with that. I think that there were moments on kind of the alignment of the defensive line where some of those guys, based on their body type and their strengths, they were just aligned wrong in the offensive line. And I think that the 4-2-5 will help that, especially a guy like RVP. I do think that the size still is a little bit of a concern, especially I hear a lot of great things about Jashir Whittington, but to your point, he's 6 foot, I'm pretty sure. So that kind of does concern me. But I'll say this, and I got to let you go, Wayne, because we got to hit a break here. And you can call back anytime, during the week. The linebackers are bigger. And last year they weren't. You had a 5'11" guy, Marquise Watson-Trent. He was getting eaten up by blocks. Shavers is explosive, but when guys are getting up to the second level like that, double teaming him, he can't be that impactful. And so the fact that these linebackers are bigger and can fight through that encourages me a little bit, just to answer your questions, Wayne. All right, we got to hit a break here. We're going to do the odd news at 12 o'clock here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. Middays with Matt, keeping it rolling.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
I feel like it's every Thursday, and like a This Week in Women's History Thursday, we do the odd news at 12 o'clock to give you a proper amount of time. I feel like this always happens on this day. I don't know why, but
I'm going to guess it has something to do with you and Sipple talking at 11, going long, and then it causes the next segment to go long, and then the next segment to go long.
That's exactly what happens, Josh.
I like Sipple.
Wasn't much of a
That's good
hypothesis or much of a question as to why it happens. Let's do a proper odd news with proper time. Josh Odson, please go.
We go to San Antonio, Texas.
Yes.
Where there's a job opening.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I knew somebody who came in 4th place for that job.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a get. I mean, they definitely rank the candidates after they make the hire.
And they definitely call you and tell you.
Yes. Jacob Toby, I'm going to guess that's how you pronounce that. Sorry if it's not. Out as Spurs announcer after an affair allegation. Well, you know, 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's not necessarily a fireable offense, right? Oh, sign up to read the full story. I will not be doing that. Let's go to a better website. So this guy is the Spurs announcer. His name is Jacob Toby. He had an affair with Lauren Waters. Oh, Lauren Waters. If you know your Spurs, which I don't blame you if you don't, isn't there a player on the Spurs with the last name of Waters?
Yeah.
Well, you'd be correct.
Yep.
I'm sure it's Waters. It's a fairly common last name. Surely they're not related. No, they would be. They would be.
Yeah. So allegedly, this man lost his job due to that affair, alleged affair. I will just say this. I don't do sisters. Okay. Don't do sisters. Never have. Never will.
You just like white women?
No, Josh. That's not what I was saying. I was saying if you are a sister of one of my friends.
Oh, okay.
I don't do that. All right. I don't. If I meet you and you and I become great friends and you have a sister, I would only ever be a great friend to that. It just causes trouble. All right. It just stirs up trouble.
Good.
There's nothing. Very rarely does it end up being good for anybody if you're a guy and you get with your buddy's sister. Okay. That's just not something you do.
Excellent take by you.
Okay. You just, unless it's like, there are some, caveats. Like, let's say you've known her for a very long time and you actually do get along great and ends up turning into a long, fruitful marriage, then yes, that can happen. But for the most part, in my experience, it never ends well. Hands up. And if this man did this, maybe if this is the reason as to why he actually got let go, then he should practice this as well.
Well, how did we learn about this information? Well, let me tell you, because that is a story as well. The allegation of an affair surfaced earlier this week after an Instagram story on Toby's account posted the following, quote, "This is my girlfriend of 6 years, but I cheated on her with Lauren Waters." Lauren Waters is tagged in this post. So feel free to continue following me if you really think I'm a good guy, because I'm not. Smiley face.
Why did he do that to himself?
That's interesting.
Oh, wait. It definitely was his significant other that he definitely is not
sure seems like
with anymore.
He would not post that of his own account. Yes, that is correct.
Now that there are too many jokes coming through the YouTube chat after that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, nothing. I've never seen it happen. Never seen it happen. Where, in my personal experience, where one of my friends gets with one of my other friend's sisters, and it has happened, and it ended up well. It actually ended up in a calamity.
So you wouldn't know this, but there's a line in the movie Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I wouldn't.
What do we covet, Clarice? We covet what we see every day.
That's tough.
Seems like that's what Toby was doing over there.
Yeah, that too, and like, you know, just
It's also San Antonio. How many good-looking women are there?
From a broadcaster perspective, like maybe even worse than like getting into like your friend's sisters. It's probably like, you know, just meddling in that and just stay away. You know, as a broadcaster, you just broadcast and you make, you know what I'm saying? Like have your personal life a little bit away from everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, this is my one man's opinion.
If you are a parent with children in the car, now might be a time to switch. Well, actually, 5 minutes ago might have been time
was totally the
to
time to
change
switch
to a different station. Why don't you come back in, I don't know, 3 minutes?
Okay.
And see where we're at.
All right, and I will set a timer here. Okay. So parents, let me go here. 10, 9, 8.
Probably could have started at 5.
5,
Fine.
4, 3, 2, 1. Go, Josh. Go. Stop. I hate you.
I thought Brian was leaving. Why is he in the chat? World Santa Congress brings Christmas cheer to the height of summer. This is taking place in Denmark. While Europe's still in the throes of summer heat, I bet it gets real toasty in Denmark. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in the Danish city of Aalborg. Dozens of Santas, Mrs. Clauses, and elves from around the world have descended on Denmark's 4th largest city for Nordic Nations' annual World Santa Claus Congress, a colorful midsummer tradition for decades. First staged at an amusement park near Copenhagen, not that Copenhagen, in 1957, the Congress moved to Aalborg on Denmark's peninsula 2 years ago. It's where hey, if you got a Santa suit, come here. We'll all have some Santa hijinks together. I don't know what Santas do when they get together.
What do they ask each other? What do you do when the kid sits on in your lap?
What do you do when the kid's crying?
That's a good
70th
point.
anniversary of this. It was created to entertain children, but became a popular gathering for Santas who appear in stores and shopping malls. The gathering offers a chance for professional Santas to swap stories, compare beards, sharpen their, I'm just reading the story, sharpen their craft, and complete in lighthearted contests months before anyone checks the naughty or nice list.
Okay.
All right. I don't like this.
I used to watch videos on food where it's like cheap steak versus medium steak versus super expensive steak, right? And you watch the people experience like what is the different quality, right? And they get to rank how much, like, hey, what's worth it at its price, right? I would love to do this with Santa Clauses. I would love to see what a low tier Santa is and how they act, what a medium tier Santa is, and what is like, who is the pinnacle of being Santa Claus in Denmark? Who is the gold standard? Who is the Lionel Messi? Who is the Muhammad Ali? Who is the Michael Jordan? Who is the Babe Ruth, the pinnacle of that sport? Who is the greatest Santa of all time? I would love to know.
Whoa, okay. That's an interesting...
Can you imagine, too, like walking into a bar in Denmark, not knowing what's going on?
Oh, there's a lot of Santas in this
bar. Just like 22 Santas sitting around, sipping on beers, being like, oh, you wouldn't believe it. Back in 92, she puked on me. You know, like, oh, you haven't heard nothing yet. I had one kid crap on me and another one, pee on me, and then another one puke on me.
Back to back kids. You can't believe it.
1996, we'll never forget it. Dearborn, Minnesota Mall. It was a hellhole.
Never go back there.
The Santa's talking about their stories like they're back in Nam. That was my alarm.
Oh, you okay?
My alarm went off. So that was 3 minutes.
Oh, that was 3 minutes. Okay, great. Welcome back.
Yeah, and so, I remember I saw.
That's why you got to make your investments.
I could hear jingle bells like coming across one like Christmas night. I was so excited. And Mom was like, all right, let's go to bed. And I went to bed and came through and the presents were there. I was like, Santa's here. This is awesome. I love Santa. Santa's a cool guy. Never met him. Would love to meet him one day.
This story, not much better for the children, but.
Oh, what is this, the anti-children odd news? Is that what we're calling?
We love children here on the odd news, but sometimes the stories that make me laugh are not appropriate.
You have a lot. There's been an influx in crass humor from you just because there are more and more odd news stories I can't do on the air.
Well, it's just like, it's either this or it's guy set world record for stubbing his toe the most times in 90 seconds. Like,
here's the thing, though. The first time you ever tweeted out odd news stories I can't do on the air, my heart dropped because I was like, is this because I don't give him enough time?
Oh, no,
my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my God, is this like Josh's rebellion? Like, she's like, because that young idiot won't give me the runtime I need. Here are the stories you would hear. And then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, no. These are
slightly
too inappropriate.
Edits. Yes. A Maryland paramedic accused of peeing on materials in public buildings in an attempt to gain an online following. I'm going to repeat all this because I
break the law.
I feel it bears repeating. A Maryland paramedic is accused of putting his bodily fluids, peeing, on materials in public buildings. I believe we'll get to it. I believe it's like a big chest of ice is what this man peed on in an attempt to gain an online following. Christopher Carroll faces 20 counts of misdemeanor causing someone to ingest bodily fluid, which is a charge I've never heard of before, as well as 3 counts of destruction of property. He has a plea hearing scheduled for next month. Reported he's been offered a plea deal. I don't care about the plea deal. I care about what he did or didn't do, allegedly. Authorities say they began investigating November of 2025 after detectives got reports that this man had tampered with and contaminated items that were later consumed. They said they discovered video evidence depicting and or suggesting conduct that resulted in individuals unknowingly coming into contact with his bodily fluids. Court documents obtained by local TV stations share more details about those allegations. He allegedly urinated on ice in an ice maker, wiped himself on a scoop.
Oh, God.
And used the scoop to mix the ice through the ice maker before making a thumbs up gesture to the camera recording it all. This was in an effort to gain an online following. The defendant is accused of doing this at the Baltimore County Public Safety Building and a fire station in Pikesville. He reportedly also contaminated an orange juice carton, a pot of chili, hand soap, lip balm, a can of vegetables, an air conditioner vent, and a can of room spray. Carroll reportedly recorded himself doing these things, and he posted the videos online to obtain subscribers and charge them $7 a month.
Oh, my God.
Gee, I wonder what website that was on.
I can't imagine that guy like looking at a can of Febreze being like, oh, I got an idea. Looking at an air vent being like, oh, what if I did that?
Now, I don't know. It doesn't say what he did with the can of room spray.
Can I be real with you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, lock this guy up forever.
Yes.
Forever. Because here's the problem too. If we let this guy go off cleanly, right? We only give him like barely any time and he's only on probation or he only has to do community service, then to him he's going to be like, well, it kind of was a success, eh?
He needs to have a bad time.
He needs to have a terrible time.
Yeah. And prison is the best place for him to have a terrible time.
I couldn't agree more. He needs, because this is my biggest hang up here. This guy can't be done in 6 months, serving his punishments. This guy sucks. This guy's a vile human.
Yeah.
What did he do? I need to know what he did with the can of spray.
You're going to have to pay the $7 a month.
How do you even?
I imagine it's been removed,
do you pee into it? And then do you? But how do you even get it open? I imagine
you're just contaminating. You're just wiping it. I rubbed my butt on it. Now you got my butt germs.
Oh, okay. But
that's my guess.
He did pee into the chili, though.
I'm guessing so, yes. How could you tell it's chili?
Great defense. Are you his lawyer?
Your Honor, I am but a humble
Ladies and
northerner.
Gentlemen of the jury, what is pee? If not simply just water that is rehydrating ourselves. Is it really that dangerous?
Nobody complained that this tasted contaminated.
Nobody made the claim they knew pee was in there. Mm-hmm. Some people even said the chili tasted better with the nice hints of lemon and urea in it.
I hope nobody said that, but it is possible.
It is possible.
Matthew goes, sounds like a Chicago man. Sounds like a Skokie man.
Oh, no. Third largest village.
Third largest village in the world. You know about that? You hear about that? Did you see this? Did you read about this?
I have.
Great odd news stories today.
Great amount of time allotted to the odd news today.
I'm a peacock, Captain. You got to let me fly. That's what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't like my Wahlberg accent in the other guys.
Well,
and that's how he says it.
It's the new microphones.
The sound of your pee hitting the urinal, it sounds feminine.
I'm really trying to listen to everything we're saying.
Well, I have to really focus up here and talk into it like this.
Not over the top, not to the side.
Is it right here?
Right on top. Mm-hmm.
But then they can't see my beautiful face on the Zone TV YouTube channel.
I don't know how to combat that right now.
Are there too many fires for you to put out, Josh Hodson?
I have to Google now. During the next break, do they make a clear microphone? A transparent microphone?
I'm such a diva.
There's no way they do, right?
No. Well, do you know they make glass pots now?
Oh, fun.
Like maybe they've always made them, that I've seen an influx of glass pots being used because I'm obviously on food YouTube short algorithm. By the way, we were really exploring the rule of thirds there with the camera. Do they make a clear microphone?
No. Well, you Google clear microphone and people think you want a crystal clear sounding microphone. No, I really want something like from the 90s where everything was a plastic shell that was a neon color, but you could see into it. That's what I want.
This is a perfect time for me to ask you this question before we get to Austin's topic.
Austin's
coming up next.
topic.
Your physical media tweet yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So your power went out.
Not the power.
Okay.
The internet.
Okay, the internet went out.
It was a hellscape from 1994 in my house yesterday.
And how was National Treasure with Nicolas Cage?
We watched Looney Tunes.
Oh.
With my child because I have DVDs of Looney Tunes and that's what he wanted to watch. I hang on to physical media. Everyone laughs at me, but I had the last laugh yesterday.
I think you're cool now, though. I think you're now cool. I think physical media is now in.
It's come back around.
I think it's retro. It's hip. You think Radio Shack will do like a pop-up shop,
That I had not thought of this. That's the play for Radio Shack.
1,000,000%.
It's a pop-up. Ooh, I never wanted to go to Radio Shack before, but now it's a novelty and it's a pop-up.
It's
Whoa.
a traveling Radio Shack van. And it's like 18 vans, and they're just traveling through the country. Where do they put all of the, where's the shack with all the radios now that Radio Shack no longer exists? Where's the storage unit? Does it pop up on Storage Wars?
I think it's in our basement.
I didn't know how many rotary telephones were still out there until I started working at radio stations.
They're all in the engineers' basements and radio stations.
I've been to 3 different engineer basements in said radio stations. They have just all been there for God knows what use or application. I wish Stibbs was here. Stibbs probably has an opinion on that.
I always wish Stibbs was here.
God.
Shout out to Stibbs. Had a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to Stibbs. Hope he's doing well. Always in our hearts. Yeah, there's a lot. I've never seen more things that I've never used in my entire life when it comes to having to call somebody until I started working at radio stations. I've never had to use a rotary phone ever.
I was going to ask, do you know how to use a rotary phone?
You just got to spin it, right?
And then what?
What do you mean, and then what? You go 9, and you grab the 9, and then you let go, and it goes back up.
Okay.
And then you go down 1, it goes back up, and then you put the number in. And you just
okay.
I think
you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Bit of an upset in my book, if we're being honest with each other.
Really? What was I? Was I plus 140 not to know how it works?
Yeah, it was a slight dog that
do
you
I
didn't
gotta
know.
hit? Do I have to go all the way down though? Like, is there a little ticker you have to hit at the bottom?
There's like a stopper, like, hey, stop here.
Can you stop before, or is that lazy?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to.
Also, on a rotary phone, if I did the wrong number. Let's say I accidentally put my finger in the 3 hole instead of the 4 hole. Would I just know until I rang and it was somebody else who picked up?
I believe that, yes.
Or was it very difficult to screw up a rotary phone
No,
number?
I mean, they're all just there in a line. If you miss, you miss, right? Just like dialing.
Did you ever have like a broken rotary phone where it's like the 2 was the 3 and the 4 was the 5, and that was a real pain in the butt to figure out?
I'm not so old that I have a lot of experience with rotary phones. You're asking a lot of follow-up questions.
I have a lot. I'm not a man of physical media. Matthew goes, bring back Blockbuster.
Oh,
I don't know. You don't. We don't need to bring back Blockbuster.
We don't.
We don't. We have Netflix. We're fine. We got streaming. You want DVDs that bad? Really?
Okay.
Are DVDs that great? You want them all back?
Could the streaming companies meet me halfway and organize your bleep?
All right.
It's strewn about in such a way that I'm just supposed to stumble into something I want to watch. If it's not the newest, like, hey, this is our newest show. Watch our newest show.
More.
And then it's just, here's, like, it's not even, it used to be, like 5 years ago, it used to be like, here's all of our comedies. Here's all of our dramas.
Sure.
That made sense. Now it's just like, hey, here's red-haired actresses. What? What's going? I really want to watch a show with a red hair.
There was one there. It's old summer blockbusters, like old movies that came out only in June and July. The Netflix catalog really did turn into ESPN Stats That Matter.
Yes.
You know what? Netflix should take Tinder's interface here, right? And what you should do is, like, when you're on Tinder, you would not know this, at least now, not in today's age, but I would.
I don't think it was a thing when I was dating either, but please continue.
You go through and you click like all the things that you're interested in. I'm into fishing. I'm into hockey. I'm into weightlifting. I'm into this. I'm into that. You can do that on the movies. Can you do that? Do they already have that going for you on Netflix?
I mean, they do ask you to, like, hey, was that a thumbs up or a thumbs down from you at the end?
They probably should just categorize it by actors. But I mean, it's not like I go on the streaming services enough to have really strong opinions about whether or not how they organize their interface, if I'm being honest. I just go there and I kind of like running into Saving Private Ryan, I just kind of like it when a Matt Damon movie just hits me in the face.
See, now that'd be a good category. Matt Damon movies.
Top 10 Tuesday. Just got to wait a couple of days before we do it. All right, let's take a break and hit Austin's topic here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Family Man Josh Hodson, Family Man Matt Mc... You're kidding me, right? They want me to read this? Okay. Family Man Josh Hodson, Family Man Matt McMahon. I'm sorry, there's just no way I'm going to get through this. You're listening to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Okay, I've texted Austin Jacobs.
Hi, Austin. I'm getting to that thing you sent me.
What did he send you?
A request.
What did he request from you?
He wanted it, the shows he did. You were gone for a week. He was very kind to come in and fill in. He's like, hey, could I have those shows for my reel?
Wow. Very cool. Very good. Good for Austin. Thank you so much for filling in for us, Austin. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. He sent me a topic today.
Topic alert?
He goes, #topic question. Who has benefited the most so far from James Franklin's firing? So,
that's a topic alert sound.
I did. I know that Austin was going like that every time. I went ahead and I wrote winners and losers
of the James Franklin firing?
Of the James Franklin firing.
What is this, The Ringer?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. I actually went to go and look up. I looked up James Franklin firing winners and losers, and I couldn't find a thing. So I don't know. It's probably in a different title or whatever. But this was genuinely from me. No, really obviously research was done, but I'm not cheating off of anybody. This was just my view. Who won and who lost. Now, I think the biggest winner, obviously, is Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech knocked it out of the park. James Franklin, despite the fact that he could not get over the hump, still got to a hump that not a lot of people could get to. I think there is something to be said about the fact that Penn State consistently was a top 10, top 8, top 6, top 5 team that was competing at the top of the Big Ten year in and year out, winning 10, 11 games routinely, consistently.
They had just made a Final Four.
Seriously, consistently being one of the best teams in the country. There's something to be said about that. There's something to be, that is an accomplishment. Now, was he able to beat the Notre Dames and the Ohio States and the Georgias and the, so on, and the Michigans when they were at their peak? No, they were not, right? And so obviously he was punished for that by losing his job. Still a very, very good coach. But even more importantly, that dude owned Virginia. He owned recruiting in Virginia. He got the best players in Virginia. And so to go to Virginia Tech, where he doesn't have to move to the West Coast or go to the Midwest or plant roots somewhere else and try and make connections with high school coaches and recruits and all of the likes in a new spot, he just can kind of set up shop where he's been shopping for, the better half of a decade. The fact that he can just do that now at Virginia Tech, and they're bringing. I'm not very high on them this year, but they will be very good in the future. Especially James Franklin now gets coach of the ACC, right?
We make fun of it. That's a perfect conference for him to coach in, right?
It is. It is. And Virginia Tech, with his ability to recruit, with his ability to get talent, and then also too, when you make a coaching hire like that, the hire itself communicates to everybody, hey, we are making an investment in football, right? You are communicating to your donors. You're communicating to your fan base. You're communicating to all of the people who are invested in you. Hey, we want to win at a high level because we've gotten a coach who wins at a high level. So Virginia Tech, undoubtedly, the biggest winner, the biggest benefitor from the James Franklin firing situation. My second biggest winner, Kalani Sitake, Kurt Signetti, Mike Elko, Eli Drinkowitz, and Matt Rhule.
A lot of people made a lot of money when James Franklin got fired.
If you go on Google and you look up let me tell you, because I still have the tab open here. I looked up all college football coaching extensions thanks to Penn State. That was my Google search.
Good inquiry.
Thank you. AI Overview gives you this answer. The prolonged 54-day head coaching search following Penn State's dismissal of James Franklin acted as a massive salary bonanza for college football. Coaches linked to the Happy Valley vacancy used the leverage to secure a staggering estimated $370 million in contract extensions. So the biggest benefiters from this firing happening are the men who made a lot of money, which include Kurt Cignetti, 8-year, $93 million deal. Kalani Sitake, who had a long-term extension. Eli Drinkowitz, 6 years, $64 million. Mike Elko, 6 years, $60 million. Matt Rhule, a 2-year, $25 million extension.
People do not forget.
We'll get to there. We'll get to that in a second. Third benefit, obviously James Franklin, for all the reasons we named, with Virginia Tech. And the fourth person who benefited was Matt Campbell. And it's not just like, he got a better job. Like, Iowa State is not in a good situation. Like, to go from a team that is in the Big 12, which is undoubtedly the third conference and not even close to competing to being second or first when it comes to college football, to go from a university where there is a lot of financial turmoil and there's a lot of questions of how they're going to navigate the future when it comes to the athletic department at Iowa State, to go from that athletic department who is, asking themselves, what are we going to do to get through all of these rising costs in college football, to go from that in the third biggest conference to then go to Penn State, where you got plenty of donors, you got plenty of people who are hungry to win. You have the investment in terms of you're going to be able to get the top talent year in and year out. You're still going to have to recruit at a pretty high level. And then to be in the Big Ten and be one of the most notable brands in the Big Ten, that's a massive upgrade. It's a massive upgrade for Matt Campbell. So he's our third winner. And then our fourth winner, he's our final winner. Here are the losers. Number one is Iowa State.
Absolutely. Shambles. Just
destroyed.
Cratered.
Destroyed. And what was that football program really before Matt Campbell got there? Like they're going to, that coach is going to get a statue. Matt Campbell's going to get a statue, names Iowa. He has that legacy. He has that impact on that college. To lose, like when you think of Iowa State football for the better half of, the last couple of years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, thought of Matt Campbell. They thought of success that they were able to go through. And to now lose that coach and then lose the entire team and recruiting class and everything with it, they are just, they're in ashes right now. I mean, it's just, they've been completely destroyed by this process. And so that's tough. The second loser is the Big 12. The fact that Matt Campbell leaves Iowa State, and Matt Campbell's coaching ability and what he built at Iowa State was like, he was the heartbeat of that program. And so you definitely question, is Iowa State going to continue to be a program that can compete at the top level of the Big 12, at least in the now? No, they're not. So that's a big loss for the Big 12. The fact that you now, what the Big 12 needs is teams that get to the college football playoff. What the Big 12 needs is teams that beat SEC teams, that beat Big 10 teams. What the Big 12 needs is, those brands to be built in order for them to establish, hey, we have a lot of great teams in college football. When you take away Matt Campbell from Iowa State, you decrease the value of that program. You decrease that program's chances to be competitive in a national level. And so I think the Big 12, who are, they are hungry to have more competitive teams in their conference and continuously prove, hey, we should have a seat at the big boy table. They are losers. I'll tell you, I don't want to call them a loser, but I'll tell you who didn't benefit from the Penn State firing and the James Franklin situation.
I noticed Penn State is not one of the biggest losers of the James Franklin firing. I guess it's their choice, right?
They're kind of like, Matt Campbell's a really good hire, I mean,
people had wanted him for like a decade.
At the CBS Sport, they did the head coaching rankings, and they had James Franklin in front of Matt Campbell. I thought that was really funny. That in their eyes, Penn State downgraded in their firing process. I don't know if I want to fully call them a loser, because we have to wait and see the situation play out. But I'll tell you, Nebraska, in my opinion, did not benefit from the Penn State firing of James Franklin. They didn't benefit from it. They did not.
Okay.
They did not. No, God, no. That is not. It's not a good extension. Let's just call it what it is.
Right.
It's not a good extension. You are heading in to a year 4 with a coach who you have people who are saying the floor is 3-9. That happened today on our radio station. Somebody who is deeply embedded within the program, its happenings, and the history of this school said the floor of this season for him is 3-9. You signed that guy.
I'm kind of a negative Nancy on this team, but woof. That's not my floor.
You signed a 2-year extension to a dude where there's a legitimate possibility that it does not work out. Some people would say it's more than just legitimate. Some people just say it ain't going to work out. And you sign that guy to a 2-year extension because of his hot start and all of the rumors surrounding his alma mater. And now you're in a position where there is a legit possibility that you have lame duck seasons. You have whole
seasons.
You
plural.
have whole
Note the
years,
S.
whole years where you go, yeah, like this guy ain't the future and this guy won't really be able to get it done. But like, we kind of have to be here because the buyout is too big. That's like currently where we're at. Right. If most coaches who let's just hypothetically say, hypothetical sake, Matt Rhule goes 4-8 this season. Okay. Most coaches
don't do that.
Most coaches, after going 4-8 in their 4th year at a program like Nebraska, would get fired. They'd get the hook. They said, see ya. Bye. And your 4th year, you went 4-8. No, thank you. This ain't going to work out. We're going to bring someone else in. If Matt Rhule were to go 4-8 this year, he ain't getting fired. He's just not. He's not getting let go. And it's just one of those things where that buyout is just way, way, way too high. And I'm not saying I'm not making the claim either that if the extension wasn't there, would he still, like, that's a whole other conversation to be had, right?
27, the 27 recruiting class. Have you seen my 27 recruiting class? My 27 recruiting class is pretty good.
Like that would be a very good question. If the extension didn't occur and Matt Rhule hypothetically went 4-8, would he get fired after this season?
Ooh,
that's a topic. That's one I would have to think about. I can't do that off the rip. I'd have to really think about it, because then you'd have
Matt Damon movie.
Is it a good one? It's the one he kept complaining. He kept having to say
better than I thought a straight to Netflix movie would be. Not to derail our entire conversation.
He kept having to say, though, they kept having to repeat the plot over and over again
because
people are going to be on their phones.
Stupid thing for a studio to require a filmmaker to do.
So dumb. By the way, if you are going to be on your phone, you don't deserve to know the plot of the movie. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. That's a topic for Peterson and Bishop. Oh, it's a topic for all of us, honestly. If the extension, and it's a fun July topic.
It's July right now.
I know. But I'm saying, like, you cannot say that Nebraska benefited from the James Franklin firing at all.
They got caught up in the wake of the firing.
They offered an extension that was signed that, frankly, is a bad extension that has put him in a potential sticky situation. Potential. Which is why I won't definitively say Nebraska lost, because what if Matt Rhule ends up having a really good year? What if this team ends up doing all the things that they hope to do? What if they actually are the best team that he has? What if they end up winning 8 games and the 2027 class ends up being great? Like, what if this is all parlayed into success? Then that extension was just, Dan and being Nostradamus. He saw it coming.
Love when a parlay hits.
What's that parlay? What's that parlay odds, Josh Hodson? What are odds on that parlay? Nebraska goes 8-4. The 2027 class is top 15, and it rolls into more success of Matt Rhule being a successful coach at Nebraska. What are your odds for that? Plus what?
I will be a conservative sports book and say plus 1,500.
Would people take that? Would people take that?
There are people that think they're going to win 8 games this season.
I'm not one of those people.
I am not one of those people.
I'm not one of those people. At least right now. The Kool-Aid is being opened.
I feel like Matt Rhule said that thing because he's like, well, somebody needs to pass around some Kool-Aid, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to help me. I got to do it myself.
In terms of our Kool-Aid meter, I'm done filling up the pitcher. The pitcher is on the table, and the packets are surrounding the Kool-Aid.
I'm at, hey, honey, do you want me to pick up Kool-Aid at the store? Nah, we can wait.
What week of the season will you might go to the grocery store to buy Kool-Aid?
That's the other thing. Like, the schedule is the schedule, right? Like, it's got its easy spots.
Put that on the shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.
I know.
The schedule is the schedule.
Great analysis by me while I try and find my footing. But it's also laid out in such a way that I don't know. I won't know how to evaluate this football team until the final month.
Sith goes, I haven't even gone to the store yet to buy packets of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Matt.
Hey, Kool-Aid's on sale. Would you like to pick it up? Nah, it'll get cheaper. Don't worry. We'll find a better deal.
Agent Joe goes, why hasn't Rhule participated in Kool-Aid days in Hastings?
I think that's a little too on the note. There cannot be a photo of Matt Rhule literally handing out Kool-Aid.
Can you imagine the meme it would be if the Kool-Aid man and Matt Rhule took a picture together? Matt Rhule, 2 fingers at the Kool-Aid man right there. Hell yeah. That would be him being too self-aware.
Look,
he'd be way too self-aware.
Moving studios isn't free, okay? I don't have a lot to offer right now.
You're doing great. You're offering a lot.
If someone gets me that photo, I'll give you a shirt and a prize to be named later.
Wow.
I don't know what it might be something good. It might be something bad.
Wait. The Middays with Matt Rhule Kool-Aid contest.
If you can get Matt Rhule, not photoshopped, not AI, like it has to be actually Matt Rhule
with the Kool-Aid man. I will pay you money. I will give you personal money.
I will take care of something. I don't know what. Again, I understand it's a vague prize. Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man. Here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Don't forget to go to 1620thezone.com and enter into a bunch of different contests that we have for you. Yachtly Crew, the Black Keys. We also have Bert Kreischer. Don't forget about Chris Stapleton in November at Pinnacle Bank Arena. So it should be a great time at all those events. You can go to 1620thezone.com and enter in there. Also, don't forget, Chicago is calling, Husker fans. 1620 Zone is teaming up with Union Bank and Trust to send one lucky Nebraska fan and a guest to Chicago to see Nebraska play volleyball at the historic Wrigley Field. How to win? Listen, for the Road to Wrigley Field sounder, it sounds something like, "Hey, Harry Carey here." Something like that. Or is it? What is the sounder? This is
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
That's what it sounds like.
That's the sound.
We're giving you multiple chances to enter every day, all month long. Prizes include 2 tickets to see Nebraska volleyball play Missouri, round trip airfare for 2 from Omaha to Chicago, 2-night hotel stay in downtown Chicago, and a $150 gift card for the winner to use for dining, Ubers, merchandise, etc. Road to Wrigley, presented by Union Bank and Trust and UBT. People don't have your money. Your money has people. Member FDIC. We go to the Equitable Bank Zone inbox here as Tim, our friend, has sent us gobs and gobs and gobs of Rhule Aid, like Kool-Aid pictures.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of different renderings of Matt Rhule. I think the Kool-Aid man is meant to look like Matt Rhule, so he's got like a goatee and like a mustache and everything like that. And then we also have a email from our friend Mike, who tried doing a AI Matt Rhule with the Kool-Aid man. Did not work out. Did not look very good at all. Let's go to the Equitable. We go to the Prairie Flower Casino.
These are fun.
Zone
though.
text line.
Look at that. Nebraska 135-10 in bet-free Mike's.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
this one I'm looking at, it's Matt Rhule, where remember he had the boombox picture at the at their gym, at their awesome weightlifting facility they have there.
When they went to the okay.
And he's got the Kool-Aid man right behind him. That's a good one. Johnny, text in.
Hi, Johnny.
Is Matt Rhule winning 8 games? What are you talking about when you say you take jokes right to the edge? Anytime we say anything somewhat positive, John goes, no, absolutely not.
Some people like to see things before they believe things. They're okay being just a tick late. Some people want to be early to the party. Some people want to be.
Well, Josh Peterson had a great quote from, I believe it was a TV show called Lost, where there's a guy who believed in God and a guy who didn't believe in God.
I heard this on 1620 The Zone.
And Josh said it perfectly. Like, this is what encapsulates Nebraska football. One guy says, the guy who believes in God goes, why don't you believe in anything?
Why do you find it so hard to believe? And the response is, why do you find it so easy?
That's where we're at. Tyler goes, dude, I'm telling you right now, if Nebraska gets to 8 wins this year, I will eat corn that has been harvested twice, if you know what I mean. That's an odd news story.
Oh.
Yeah. Put
wow.
2 and 2 together there, Papa.
I get it.
Yeah. Harvested twice. Anyway, this week in women's history.
This week.
It is a Thursday. We haven't done this in a while, so we're going to do it. Coming up next here on Middays with Matt.
He's from the third largest village in the world, Skokie, Illinois. Middays with Matt on 1620, The Zone.
All right, my computer sucks and it keeps telling me I have viruses, but I'm like, no, I don't. Get out of here. It's just.
You got viruses?
Why would I have viruses? I just go to the same.
You use the internet.
I go to the same 6 websites every single time. I'm not on any, terrible sites or anything like that would give me viruses.
I got your cookies.
What is? I see. Can I be?
I don't know, Matt.
All right, neither do I.
I don't know.
Do you accept them or don't?
At work, I click accept
cookies.
Couldn't click it fast enough because it's not my computer. I got a guy. I got a whole department that'll fix it for me.
Sure. I kind of just spin a wheel. I'm like, I don't want your cookies today.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll take your cookies, Nebraska Athletic Department.
Now at home, I'm like, okay, what is this person asking me? What website is this?
Wow, you vet the cookies?
I don't think I like this.
You vet cookies? I've never vetted a cookie before.
Poll question. Have you vetted a cookie?
I've never vetted a cookie before. I've never been like, I'm not going to take this cookie. I'm just like, white macadamia nut? Hell yeah. White chocolate macadamia nut.
Yeah.
Red velvet.
See, people are afraid of what they don't understand. And it's like, ooh, macadamia nut, what is that? And just eat it.
Have you ever had a macadamia nut that's not in a white chocolate chip cookie?
I
have not. I have never had a macadamia.
My guess would be no.
Yeah. I've studied some academia, but I've never had a macadamia.
Ooh, that's an interesting flavor note in this pasta. What is it? It's macadamia nuts. No, it's always in a white chocolate chip cookie.
What is macadamia nuts in other than white chocolate chip cookies?
I don't know.
Macadamia nuts is like they are a one-hit wonder. They are like the Looking Glass who did Brandy. You're a fine girl. What did Looking Glass do after Brandy? What did macadamia nuts do after it teamed up with dough and white chocolate?
Are macadamia nuts the chumbawamba of cookie ingredients?
Some people are asking, are they the 1, 2, 3 kid of nuts? You have a favorite
multi-time Hall of Famer 1, 2, 3 kid?
Do you have a favorite nut?
Do I have a favorite nut?
Wall
left.
Too easy. That's on me. Hand up.
Look,
I can't get mad at you for doing that.
If you're gonna hang a slider middle, I'm gonna knock it out of the park. Okay.
That changeup was too high in the zone. I do apologize. Do you have a favorite type of edible nut? That's even worse.
This week in women's history.
Let's get to it. By the way, mine's walnut. Followed up by cashew. Close second.
You gave me a flavored almond and I'm good.
Okay, fair enough.
Barbecue almond, you want anything on that little cart that they got at the mall sometimes.
See, I never eat them, but I use pine nuts in a lot of different sauces and whatnot.
Like a pesto?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need a mortar, a pesco mortar to make my pesco.
A mortar and pestle?
Yeah, mortar and pestle.
Okay.
That's what I need.
Do you need one of those to make pesto? I genuinely don't know.
You don't need one of those to make pesto, but it's like if you can, grind your own pesto, that'd be pretty dope, wouldn't it? Don't you think that's dope? Poll question. Do you think grinding your own pesto is dope? I think grinding your own pesto is pretty dope. You just got to toast some pine nuts, add some basil, some garlic, just put that. I mean, it's pretty. I saw my cousin and I hugged her and I was like, oh, great to see you. And I was like, you smell like pesto. She's like, that's crazy. I was harvesting basil today. She's a big gardener. And I was like, not Jennifer Gardner. She just likes to be in the garden. And I was just like, you smell like pesto. She's like, I was harvesting basil. I was like, I got the nose of Remy from Ratatouille. I can just smell it. All right, let's do this week in women's history.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was riffing.
You were. And
it's kind of when I do my best radio.
If you're new to the show, you're like, yes, these guys with a new studio, what are they all about? And I don't know why anyone would do that, but
yeah, I'm listening to a new studio.
Heard they got a new studio.
They got a new studio. Poll question: are you hearing around town? 1620 The Zone got a new studio. Is that what you're hearing on the street?
The streets are saying these men got a new studio. They got new microphones on new tables.
Matt's a young guy, and we like to make fun of him for it.
Yeah,
In this segment, we show the audience these common names that these people's name. Now, all of them just happen to be women. These are women throughout the decades that have made a gigantic impact on our nation's pop culture, the global pop culture scene. And Matt has no idea who they are. And
some of them have gigantic impacts, multiple gigantic impacts in their career.
Like Tom Brady, multiple Hall of Fame careers. First name on the list this week, Julie Newmar.
That's a good name.
It
Just
is
straight up.
Yeah.
Julie Newmar. Oh, N-U-E? N-E-W.
N-E-W-M-A-R, yes.
Okay. Julie New. Okay. Was she there's a lot of kitten pictures of her.
That's right. She played Catwoman on the Adam West Batman series from the 60s.
Wow. She has great hair.
Not what I thought you were going to end that sentence with, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
She has phenomenal hair.
Yes.
I mean, it's really well done. Women's hair back in the 70s and 80s.
Important.
Dude, it was a whole other level.
Yeah.
It was poofier, more volume, curly. Now we just kind of, it's not as flamboyant now as it used to be. I was a big fan of it. She was Catwoman for a while. She had a long run as Catwoman.
Yeah, I mean that show was on for I don't know how long, but
did she do anything after?
I mean, I'm sure she did. I'm sure she parlayed that into other acting roles.
Holy crap, her net worth is $50 million.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Goodness. She's 92 years old. She is still with us.
Really?
Yes.
Now that I did not know.
She is still around, according to her Wikipedia page.
Congrats.
She's had only one marriage, too. Typically, these people here on This Week in Women's History have upwards of 3 to 4.
Sad.
She's been married once. Wow. Okay. And she's still around. Very good. Very good. Catwoman. From what, 1987, you said?
The 60s.
The 60s. Whoa, wow. This is one of our earliest This Week in Women's History
contributors.
Seriously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is incredible. Great first name, Julie Newmar. Okay.
Second name on the list, Fiona Apple. Let you look that up.
Oh,
I'll tell you, she was a musician
in
the 90s.
Okay.
Had an edge about her. Didn't want to play the game, so to speak.
I feel like I've heard of her before.
Criminal,
Fiona.
probably her most famous song.
Is she a criminal?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I heard that's her famous song.
She feels like a criminal.
There's like a she wrote like Sharpie on her arms. Is that her bit? Is that what she does? That's like her picture on the Wikipedia page.
So she seems like the type that would, I'm going to make a statement by writing something on my arm in Sharpie. Yes, that seems like something she would do.
She have any extraordinary happenings in pop culture outside of her music? Like, did she have like a, I don't want to use the example I'm about to use, but did she have any like notorious moments,
She won a video. Now, MTV used to be a much bigger deal than when you were a child. They used to have an award show each and every year that would honor the best in music videos throughout that year. And she won an award for best new artist or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And she walked up to the stage and she said, "This world is BS." But she didn't say BS. She said the full word.
Oh, wow.
And everybody now that was a big deal at the time.
Sure.
It wasn't like now where you can be watching AMC at 2:30 in the afternoon and they just say that word.
Yeah. Yeah. This was in 2000 what when she did this?
I'll bet it was 97.
Wow. She said the S word
That's
on
right.
TV in 97?
One of them lady swearers.
Wow. What a bold stroke by Fiona Apple.
That's right.
That takes some real chutzpah, to go back in 97 to say the S word. I mean, that takes some real,
I can't tell if you're being serious.
No, that takes guts, and we need guts. All right. I did something with the paw snip and I sold the parsnip to a family of 4. That takes guts. We need guts. All right, what's our next woman in This Week in Women's History?
Let's see. I've got to cross out Fiona Apple.
That was a good one.
Let's do.
Carol goes, sounds like your type, Matt. See, that would ruin the whole segment. What do you mean? You like Carol? She makes fun of me more than anyone. And you like John too?
John's just a dedicated listener to the station.
He is our biggest fan. He is one of our. I don't think he listens to the other shows as much as he listens to us.
Well, we're giving him something.
We're making him feel something. Give us, what's our next woman who made us feel something at some point?
Alicia Cuthbert.
I was going to say, I know who Alicia Keys is.
Alicia Keys, too big a name to be on this list.
Cuthbert.
Yes. Cuthbert.
Her picture doesn't pop up right away. Whoa. No, it's not. She's a Canadian actress.
Sure.
Wow.
I don't really remember where she's from. Not important to the story.
She's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the home of Bret Hart.
The Flames.
Very good, Josh Hodson. What did she do? Other than
she was an actress. I don't know how good of an actress, but
wait. There's a word in here that I just saw that I want to make sure.
Okay, I can help you sound it out if you need me to.
No. Oh, no. She played. Okay, whoa.
Oh, okay.
She played an ex-actress.
Oh,
in one of the things that she was an actress.
That is probably her most famous role, The Girl Next Door.
Oh, really?
It's I don't know if teen comedy is the right word.
She looks like a girl next door.
Yeah,
you know, like
she played Jack Bauer's daughter in a couple of seasons of 24. Very popular television show in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
She was in Old School. She played the high school girl that
is that with
Mitch slept with.
Wait. Is that the one where Old School? What's the one I'm thinking of? Back to School. Isn't that with Rodney Dangerfield? Yeah, I'm thinking of Back to School. That was what that's a Mike McMaster classic.
That tracks.
Back to School. That and Animal House.
I don't know a lot about Mike McMaster, but yeah, Mike McMaster loves Back to School.
So which one does she get with in Old School? Was it
Mitch, Luke Wilson's character, the main character?
Oh, congratulations to Luke Wilson, by the way, having a baby.
Really?
Yeah, with his 24-year-old wife.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah, did you not see this? Did you not hear about this, Luke Wilson?
T-Mobile or AT&T or whichever one he does must pay well.
Luke Wilson, most notably from Legally Blonde, is what I know him from. That was my introduction to Luke Wilson.
Ooh, what is Luke Wilson's most known?
That's when I saw Luke Wilson today, and I was like, oh, that was the guy from Legally Blonde.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I don't really know him from anything else. He was in Charlie's Angels.
It was the lead in Old School.
What else has he done?
Well, it says here he was in Scream 2. I don't really remember. He might have played one of the characters from Scream 1 and Scream 2. It's complicated. Blue Streak, The Royal Tenenbaums, and of course, Idiocracy.
This guy gets so much work for just being a mid.
Well, he was Owen's brother, and that was very hot at the time. Owen would say no and say, have you met my brother?
Luke Wilson's Owen Wilson's brother?
Yeah.
I swear to you, I had no clue. This is not a bit. I had no idea. This guy gets a lot of work for not being good at what he does. He's like the big dog Roman Reigns.
He is, I believe, the reason you are casting
is to get to Owen.
No, I believe the reason you cast Luke Wilson is because you feel you have a strong supporting cast and you don't want the lead actor to steal from the bit player. Like, hey, we need a very milquetoast, very vanilla lead to not outshine out. Now, they'll have more lines than these bit players, but the bit players are really what we want to highlight. So we need a vessel. We need a celery stick to get to the ranch dressing.
So you're saying that Luke Wilson is the celery stick of acting?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
And the dip includes Vince Vaughn as ranch and Will Ferrell's
the peanut butter.
And okay, that makes a lot of sense.
according to Google, Luke Wilson's most famous movie is Idiocracy. And then his second most famous movie is Legally Blonde, followed up by Old School's Royal Tenenbaums and Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1.
Oh, he's in that Kevin Costner 3-hour movie that nobody liked.
Yeah,
Okay.
did you ever see that one? People were really fired up about that.
No, it was the first of a trilogy, and I said, well, certainly all 3 movies will come out, and I can watch them then. Nope.
Are you a Avatar man, by the way? They keep
not in the least.
You hear that they're making a new Last Airbender TV series,
I'm also not up to speed on that.
Wow. College World Series is really putting you behind when it comes to
that's what it
cinematography.
is. I was up to date, and then sorry, just looking at Alicia Cuthbert, got distracted.
Well, a lot of people do, and I was during that segment. Luke Wilson, okay, up there with who was that guy? Tucker
Carlson?
Yeah, no, not Tucker. No. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Really? What's the point? No.
Oh, okay.
The guy who was getting he's a schlub from The Voice. The host.
Blake Shelton?
No.
Carson Daly.
Carson Daly.
I
get
right.
Tucker Carlson and then Carson Daly.
You and Lauren didn't know Carson Daly.
Lauren Michelson from KATV is joining us next here on Middays with Matt on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, 120 here on a Thursday. We are going to get to Lauren Michelson of KTV in 1 second, but we have to go to the phone lines here because a gift has been brought to us. If you're watching on the Zone YouTube TV page, we have been given these beautiful cigars from our great friend Nathan from Ohio. Nate, you are the greatest, man. Typically, when we talk, we are the itty bit committee, but we got the cigars literally minutes ago, and now you have called us. You are the best, dude. These are awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. So, obviously, welcome back.
Thank you.
Goodness you're back. You know, Austin Jacobson's okay. I guess he got a lot of love from other people, but I just want to put on the record from Nathan in Ohio that I feel that Austin Jacobson is the Thursday night football of Matt McMaster show.
Okay. I won't say thank you because we love Austin, but I greatly appreciate it. Nate. And what did you send us? So typically you send us a mixture of different cigars, but you have sent us a whole 20-pack this time.
Yes. Yeah. So I promised. People were complaining that you were getting all the cigars. So I said, you know what, I'll send a box. So yeah, you get a sampler. I usually do a 2-3 cigar sampler.
Yeah. Last time you sent me 5. It was awesome.
I'm not a sponsor yet, so I can't say what it is, but but so we send that to you guys and,
wow.
So I
These
just wanna
are
make sure that you got that.
These are awesome, man. Thank you so much. And by the way, those people are fools. I'm still going to take about 13 of these. So I appreciate you greatly. You have a quick take? You have a quick sport take before I let you go?
Well, I don't know about sports take. It's more of a reading take. So I get really frustrated when you guys say you read books and it's really just you listening to them.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know why, but here's my thing. I'm fine with it. Like my wife does this all the time. She's like, I've read 22 books. I was like, no, you haven't. You've listened to them, but whatever. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get into marital trouble. But so what I figured is, you know what? I have read over 32 books of nonfiction called 1620 The Zone. So I figured it up. I've listened to over 434 hours of podcasts this year. And the average book, according to the Google, is like 12 hours. So you divide that out. Like I've read like 33 books of nonfiction called 1620 The Zone, and I am for sure going to tell people that. They'll be like, "How many books you read?" 33, because it has to count, right?
That is an incredible loophole. That is awesome. I don't know if we are as chaptered as a book might be, but I know that we are definitely more entertaining than anything that you might be reading. So, Nate,
100%. I get current events. I get some sports takes. I get the random the nonsense. So first of all, I'm just here for the nonsense. Like,
okay,
I'm
good to know.
I'm here for Husker football and nonsense. That's what I'm here for. Everything else you talk about, like, it's great. It's fine. Like, you're knowledgeable. Like, whatever. Like, I'm here for the Husker football and the nonsense.
Yeah,
I think that should be your tagline.
Let's mark that, Josh, and that'll be a main promo for the show this fall. Nate, you are the greatest, man. Thank you so much for your kindness, your hospitality, everything, man. Seriously, this is awesome. Appreciate the gift. We will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, see ya.
All right. We go from Nathan of Ohio to someone who might have an opinion on some of the opinions Nate from Ohio had. Lauren Michelson of KETV joins us. Lauren, if I read a book and then I tell you, if I listen to a book on Audible and then I tell you I've read a book, your reaction is what?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Nate there. You don't like reading. You got to open the book. You can't listen. Like, yeah, I agree. Those Audible things, they work for a road trip. I see if you're like mid-book and can transition over and read some of it, quote unquote, read during a road trip and listen, fine. But you got to finish the book with the hard copy or the Kindle or whatever. It's not real reading.
Are you a big reader?
I'm aligning with him.
Are you a big reader?
I am a big reader. Yeah, I love to read. I read off a Kindle though. Some people don't like that. Some people are like, you gotta physically buy the book, go to the library. But the Kindle, you can take it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Would you say that you are in the top 5% of 25-year-olds who read in America?
I'm 26 now.
Okay, sorry.
And I'd say probably not. But
Okay.
maybe if I had a job that was a little less busy, I could read a little more. But no. But
Okay.
I still like to. And when you need a little break, it's a good, I think keep the phone away from the bedroom at night and pick up a book. You're going to sleep better. That's my advice.
Wow. Yeah, it's great advice. I'll never follow it, but I really do appreciate you putting it out on the airwaves. You put something out on the Twitter waves a couple of days ago that got some pretty interesting traction. I'll just read your tweet. Buy stock now in Wes Enos. The South Florida transfer could not miss at practice today. You got a bunch of different retweets from it. No comments, which is surprising, but you had great video shot, by the way. The TV nerd just capturing nerd in me thinks you shot this very, very well. But tell us about your experience at Creighton men's basketball practice. How was it?
Yeah, well, one, it was just fun to be in the McDermott Center and see this group that Alan Huss and this coaching staff's put together. I mean, it's exciting. Like anytime there's change, you're paying a little bit more attention, and Coach Huss is great. And the team looks good. Like there's a lot of new players. You have 6 returners, 7 newcomers. So it's a good mix. And there's a buzz. Like people are excited. There are a lot of people there watching practice. Guys are ready. They're about through the midway point of summer workouts, and Huss is really challenging them to be more intense, be more physical, especially on the defensive end. And you could see that. Then you have guys like Wes that were just so impressive offensively, and they have some shooters, and he's certainly one of them.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed. I had a lot of fun. He's a guy that, 4-star ranked transfer from South Florida. So I'm excited about him. I went into practice not really thinking he'd be on my radar of a guy. Like you go in wanting to get video of all the new guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of watch and see who's going to surprise you. And he was one. I don't know if he surprised me, but I would say he did. He was really impressive, and it was hard. He could not be ignored at practice, which is a great thing.
Were you at practice, like open practices around this time last year, by any chance?
Yeah, same
Okay.
thing. They do like one. Creighton does a great job of opening a lot of practices. Like I think if you wanted to, as the media, you can drop into a few, but we probably go to 1 or 2 a summer.
So
but yeah, we were there last
The
year.
reason why I ask is is there any comparison you can make from last year's team in terms of how they looked on day one compared to how this team looked on, day one of the second part of summer? Just because I know that there was a lot of talk last year in terms of, are these guys going to mesh together? And now you kind of have that same question just because, once again, you've gotten a lot of guys out of the transfer portal. I mean, were there any noticeable differences that you can maybe harken back on in terms of how they looked this time you saw them compared to last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Connectivity is hard, like at this point in the year, to really get a sense. But like the one thing that stood out, like these guys are talking and they're comfortable being vocal. A lot of these guys are. Jason Green comes to mind. Like I think for returners, a guy like Jason Green is so much more comfortable, I think, with his voice than just his body. And he even said, he's like, I feel the best I have since being here. I feel healthy. I feel strong. I feel ready. And he had this kind of calm, composed swagger to him that was really impressive. I just feel like the guys are like, they know they have some dudes. They know last year didn't go the way they wanted. And they know they have a new kind of fresh opportunity with Coach Huss, given he was still there last year in a huge role. But I think they're excited. So comparing it to last year, like I can't go back on that too much.
Mm-hmm.
But, BJ Davis, one of the new guys, said it best. He's like, this is a group that really wants to win. They have a lot of drive, kind of that relentless pursuit of just competitive fire at all costs. And that was really evident this week in practice.
What do you make of their non-con schedule?
Tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough for sure. Yeah. And I asked Huss about it, and he said it best. He's like, we want to be a contender in March. We have to schedule these quad 1 opportunities early. And that's what they did. I think, honestly, like trial by fire, go right into it, see what kind of team they have, see what this group is made of. It's competitive for sure, but it's going to be certainly entertaining, and I applaud Huss for the schedule they put together.
Let's talk a little Nebraska football. We're only a couple of weeks away from getting to the first week of fall camp, and hopefully you guys will have a couple of opportunities at TV station to go down there and capture some B-roll and do some interesting stories. Is there a story, a player on the top of your mind that you want to do a feature on? Is there someone that, because I know how you guys work, you guys do some really interesting and intense research in terms of guys that might be targets for you to do features on, and then you get going. Is there anything you can reveal potentially in terms of what you might be working on?
Well, we got to get through media days first.
Yes, good point.
Very disappointing. It's not in Las Vegas this year. We got to email.
Oh, come on. Chicago's great, and you love Chicago. You were just there on vacation. You took your vacation out there.
No, hey, a couple months ago in the Big Ten, or whenever we found out that media days would be in Chicago, we were all for it because of how easy it is to get there. And I do love Chicago. I have family there. You obviously love Chicago.
Yes.
But then we got an email yesterday. It was a mistake from the Big Ten accidentally putting Las Vegas on one of the credential submissions. And Andy and I kind of looked at each other and we're like, dang, that was a fun trip. And it was it was almost a year ago. And we're kind of going back, we're reminiscing on that week we were there. And it was really fun. So a year ago, I said I never want to step foot in Vegas ever again. Said it at the bowl game too. I think I could go back now. So anyway,
that's how it works.
I gotta get through media days. We'll have a lot less stories after Chicago than we did in Vegas. But I'm excited. It's kind of crazy that we're so close. But I'm excited to honestly just Jamal Rhule. We've been talking about him since the spring game. He was the story of the day on offense, and then now with all this Mekhi Nelson stuff, they need someone, right? So I like the idea of this true freshman stepping up, coming in, and everyone's so high on him. So that'll be fun to see during fall camp. And then honestly, I have not spent much time around Calandria, and I'm just really chomping at the bit to get to know him, see him play more in person. I'm sure everyone is. And there's just a lot of changes. So just getting out on the practice field and seeing this group go and is just going to feel good and be exciting.
Are you going to spend 10 days out in Chicago like you did in Vegas?
Absolutely not. We're going to make this a quick trip. I think we spent a total of, Andy Kendeigh spent 3 weeks of his calendar year in Vegas last year. I think I spent 2.5 or 2. That's more than anyone needs to do in a lifetime. But here I am saying I would go back.
I know. Well, it's funny because when I was on the morning show, we would interview Andy every other week. And we interviewed him one time and he was in Vegas. And then we interviewed him a second time. He was in Vegas. And I think we interviewed him 3 times when he was in Vegas. And we were like, dude, you don't live there. What are you doing? Why are you out there so much? So
love to live there.
The Huskers have been all over Vegas. Let's anything else you want to kind of touch on? I know it's kind of the dead season. Any takes you have, any things you're monitoring? We didn't talk about Husker basketball. We haven't really talked about any of the women's sports. If anything that you want to touch on real quick before I let you go here.
Honestly, we're getting a lot of press about Love Volleyball, Supernovas, kind of their scheduling for just media stuff behind the scenes as free agency's wrapping up. So I'd say just kind of pay attention to what's happening with those 2 leagues. Okay. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. And then honestly, 5 for 5 is going to be really interesting to see what the Big Four, Nebraska volleyball, Andy Jackson, Bergen Riley, Harper Murray, and Lainey Choboy, what they decide to do that 5th year is something that I've just been thinking about as we kind of schedule out this fall. And could this be the last for them and the pressure for that team to win a natty? It's going to be interesting. We're so far, but it's going to be an interesting next 6 months in the land of volleyball across the state as well.
It'll be interesting too. I don't think they will market it or will tell you whether or not they're coming back at the beginning of the year or anything like that, but it's I think Chattel has written it before. It's a great I think Tom's written it, but it's whoever has written it. It's Nebraska doesn't recruit, they choose, when it comes to volleyball. They don't recruit really anybody. They choose who's on their team. And so you got to think, that's a very tough decision to make for Danny Busboom Kelly in terms of, do you want to sacrifice
the future of what could be some classes and recruits that you don't take on compared to having another go in a year that you didn't necessarily expect to have about 12 months ago. So it'll be very interesting. And yeah, something we're going to be monitoring throughout the entirety of the season. Lauren Michelson, thank you so much for joining us once again from KETV. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thanks, Matt. See you guys.
See you. That is going to be, the MLB lockout talk hasn't been as high as I thought it would be. Like, I thought we would be talking about the lockout way more when it comes to Major League Baseball during this year. But that will be the conversation we're having consistently through Nebraska volleyball season. Like, we will have one convo about what the game was like and how they played and how much they dominated and so on and so forth. And then there will always kind of be in the background of, is this it? Is this the last time the big four is going to be together on a volleyball court? And, it'll be very interesting when we get to next offseason, what those conversations are about in terms of, do you keep all four? Do you try and keep one? Do you try and keep two? Do you just say, hey, we're fully moving on? We've run our cycle. We've done what we needed to do. We need to get the program, going in the next direction, in the next, flow of what it might be. And do they all separate and go elsewhere? It's an incredible amount of hypotheticals to be had in terms of what the future for those very talented volleyball players are. But what we know now is they will be in a Nebraska uniform this year and will be the favorites, or one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win it all. Finally win it all, because it seems like the last couple of years we've been waiting, but it hasn't happened yet. So love it when Lauren comes on, just because we get to talk about all the sports. That's a very interesting storyline that we'll be monitoring throughout the entirety of the year. All right, let's take a break. Josh is going to tell you what you're watching tonight. I'm going to tell you what I'm betting on, but then you probably shouldn't bet on it because there was almost a no-hitter on the game we bet on yesterday.
Perfect game
on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
already talked about our road to Wrigley Sounder contest that we're doing here at the Zone, but we also want to let you know about our partnership with the Salvation Army and their annual 7-can back-to-school program. Summer is heating up, but back-to-school season is just ahead. This program is focused on giving children in need the tools to succeed for a brighter future. It is successful because of the community's involvement. More than 250,000 backpacks have been given away over the lifetime of the program. Those wanting to donate can drop off new school supplies from July 1st to August 3rd at select Methodist Health System locations, Metro Credit Union locations, Cubby Convenience Stores, and Salvation Army locations. You find more details at 1620thezone.com. And do not forget, our Zone half off deal is with Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill. This week's half off deal, $50 in vouchers for only $25 to Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill, 178th and Harrison. Details also at 1620thezone.com. What are we watching tonight, Josh Hodson?
Well, in about an hour, we're going to watch this World Cup quarterfinal. They begin this afternoon on Big Fox, 3 o'clock, between France and Morocco. Major League Baseball, triple header on MLB Network today. Yankees, Rays right now. Phillies, Reds follows that at 6, and then your nightcap at 9 o'clock. Diamondbacks, Padres, WNBA, doubleheader on Prime. It is Seattle, Atlanta at 7. Indiana, Phoenix follows that at 9 o'clock. Wimbledon. The women did their semifinals today. The men get their Final Four tomorrow. Sinner versus Joker tomorrow.
Nice.
9:30 a.m. on ESPN. And finally tonight, 7 o'clock on ABC, the season 12 premiere of Celebrity Family Feud. Champions of the, and I will read it as written, the American Football Conference, Ray Lewis Jr., it says, Rodney Harrison, Hines Ward, Terrell Suggs, and Mel Blount. And the National Football Conference, that just throws me for a loop. No one calls it that. Milton Williams, Michael Singletary, Landon Dickerson, Amani Toomer, and Isaac Bruce go head-to-head for the grand prize.
That sounds incredible. That sounds riveting. That
sounds like one team got all the stars.
That sounds like something I will not be watching ever.
All right, folks, let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you got to love dogs, right?
I wish we had a ghost dog text right now because he's been killing it in
You
soccer.
need a ghost dog. My God, what was that yesterday?
I don't know. That's why I don't bet Major League Baseball.
You should bet the Giants because it feels like the Giants are due. They take a perfect game into the 9th inning. Didn't have a base runner.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Inning.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Lost
all
10
right?
to 0 to the Blue Jays.
Look, this segment is dying for football season to begin. Okay, that's what Dog of the Day needs is football.
Why don't you like both teams to score in this quarterfinal here this afternoon?
I'm just gonna,
is that plus odds?
I'm going Asumane Dembele to score an anytime goal plus 233. I believe we did. Didn't we do a Harry Kane in England to win bet, and that ended up killing it?
Some of your bets have hit. Yes, absolutely.
We are definitely down.
Yesterday
Dog
was
of the Day.
particularly not.
We will go ahead during the football season and keep track of Dog of the Day.
Yeah,
because every day will be a football bet I will be making on Saturday or Sunday.
This is the preseason.
No, I'm not. This isn't even the preseason. Is the preseason? I might bet on NFL preseason. Don't listen to me, bet
so
free Mike.
right now, Dog of the Day is we're in the preseason.
We're in the dog days of Dog of the Day. Is the best way to put it.
Interesting.
We are slumming it out right now with terrible bets until football comes around. Then we'll have awesome bets. This was an awesome show, Josh Odson. I always love hosting with you. Appreciate you.
I love being able to see you.
I would prefer you to say I love hosting with you too, Josh.
I love pushing the buttons for you.
Shout out to Nathan from Ohio who gave us these awesome cigars.
Just saying, some listeners are buying us stuff.
I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. You want to be one of our top listeners? Nathan from Ohio is one of our top men. I want to shake your hand, Nathan.
Top men.
That would be or women too. We have women listeners as well.
Yeah,
top listeners.
Women can buy us stuff too.
Thank you so much, Nate. Absolutely awesome. Let's hit a break. USC and the crossover coming up next.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.